Well, hello, football fans, and welcome to Panther Stadium in Crowley, Texas for tonight's 2021 Region 1 District 3 football game featuring your Trojans of Trinity High in Week 6 of our football season and our live stream broadcast through Trinity Sports Network. Tonight's game is being played at Panther Stadium on the campus of North Crowley High School in Crowley, Texas, featuring the Panthers of North Crowley High and your Trojans of Trinity High School. We invite all of our Trojan fans to continue to spread the word this season regarding our live stream broadcast of Trinity sports teams. This live stream can be located by following one of two pathways. The first, by viewing the Trinity High School website, clicking the Activities tab, then click Sports, and finally clicking on the Trinity Athletic Online Broadcast. The second pathway will be by downloading the mobile app that can be located from the Trinity High School Athletic website, which is also located under the Sports tab. This week, our TSN team continues a new segment entitled Meet the Coach, where we will interview members of the Trojan coaching staff and introduce them to our fans. This week's series features Coach Jason Dibble for the Trojans in a segment entitled All You Wanted to Know About the Dibbles. Now, sit back, listen, and enjoy this segment of Meet the Coach. Well, hello, football fans, and welcome to Trinity Sports Network and a halftime special feature, everything you wanted to know about the Dibbles. Coach Dibble, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you.
First of all, tell us a little bit in regards to the Dibbles and the family history.
Well, my parents are originally from New York, from Western New York, like near Buffalo. And my dad played college football at Ranger Junior College in eastern New Mexico. And he played for a coach at Ranger named Jack Duvall, who was a coach at Bell.
Right.
So anyway, HEB was opening up a brand new middle school, or junior high. And he actually was drafted by the Cleveland Browns. And then he got a call from Coach Duvall, and he said, "You want to come coach football at this middle school or junior high?" And he looked at the two paychecks, and actually the paycheck at the time for coaching middle school football was better than the Cleveland Browns. So
wow.
So he came to Bedford. He was on the first staff that opened up Bedford Junior High. He's told us a bunch of stories, but the original Bedford Junior High was actually at Central Junior High, and Central would go in the morning from like 8 to noon, and then Bedford would come in and go from like noon to 3.
Wow.
And they would split it. I don't know the whole story on that. He talked about that. I'm sure somebody knows the whole story, but that's how they got to this area. And he was a coach until he retired. We were at he coached at Bedford, and then he moved up to coach at Bell. He was at Bell, then Plano East, then Trinity for a semester, and then Richland, and then Keller, and then he was the first coach at Fossil Ridge.
Okay.
So
fantastic.
Just the general, I guess, how we got into coaching.
Okay.
Family business.
All right, so tell us a little bit more about your personal family and your background.
I went to Texas Tech. I went to Richland High School. My dad was at Richland at the time, so I went to Richland. My sister went to Keller because my dad was at Keller, and then he retired, and TJ ended up going to Bell because he was retired. We just kind of followed him around.
Okay.
But I went to Tech. I met my wife. She was a friend of my sister. That's how I met her. She went to Tech for a little while, and she ended up going to North Texas. But I got a job at Hearst. Actually, I worked at Bell. My first job was actually at LD Bell.
Okay.
I was a special ed assistant, and then Mr. Brown, who was the principal, called Hearst Junior High and said, "Hey, I got a coach I need you to hire," I guess is how it worked. And then Mr. Griffin just hired me at Hearst, and I was at Hearst for 5 years. I was at Harwood for 2, Trinity for 10 years the first time, and then we went to Ranch View for 2 years, and then back at Trinity for I think 6 years now. But that's kind of, I guess that's the general.
And there are other Dibbles that even present day are still in HEB.
Oh yeah. We've tried to fill up the whole elementary full of them. I have a 3rd grader at Meadow Creek, Augie. I have a 6th grader at Meadow Creek, Emmy. I have a cheerleader at Harwood. It's a 9th grader, Annie. And then my other daughter, who's at North Texas, was a cheerleader here at Trinity. So I have 4. TJ has 3. He has all his are still at Meadow Creek. He has a 1st grader, a 3rd grader, and a 5th grader at Meadow Creek. Yeah, so they're pretty well known at Meadow Creek.
Okay, good deal. Great family history. Now, tell us a little bit more in regards to your educational background and how you have evolved into where you are today.
Well, I was really lucky to, at Texas Tech, my dad, being a football coach, knew the football coaches from Texas Tech, and they came through, and he got me an opportunity to video at Texas Tech, and it turned it into a full scholarship. And so I was able to go to Texas Tech for free by videoing football, and then that led to getting, that always helped me get a job. Is I knew how to use the video camera and how to do the video stuff, so that always helped me get a job. I actually have a degree in art, but I've never taught art.
Okay.
But I don't know if I ever will.
All right. But great with the technology. In fact, one of our leaders here on campus in regards to technology through a lot of different things. Any thoughts on technology here at the campus or within the district?
I think it's I think it's a tool, and I think our kids really enjoy, that's how kids communicate and how they interact with each other. And so I like to kind of, meet them at where they're at. So that's what I really, I use it as a tool in my classroom, and it's a really good tool for us as football coaches. We can communicate at another level with them, really. We can get to them. Everybody's got their phone in their pocket, and so we can send video to them. We can, message them and talk to them and communicate with them at another level that we didn't used to be able to. So it's very valuable.
Now, looking back as a boy and then high school and college, as an athlete, what sport or sports did you enjoy?
In high school, well, we did pretty much everything. We could try whatever we wanted to try, and then the only rule was you had to finish the season. You couldn't quit in the middle of the season, kind of deal. And I really enjoyed football. We played a lot of baseball. I pole vaulted in track. And just football, we're competitive. We're all competitive. We like to compete at anything, horseshoes. Lately it's been can jam. We like that. So, our kids are competitive. We play basketball in the backyard to the death.
Sure.
So it's just more than any one sport. It was just competing in something. But football has always been. My dad was, kind of got us on football, and we've always been around football. And from the time we were little, we were the ball boy or whatever, and just being around football has been, and like I said, I went to Texas Tech and it started out in football. Now the program expanded and we videoed everything, but it's just, just football is probably the main one. It's kind of like I said earlier, the family business.
Well, it's Trinity Bell Week here in the district, and for viewers or anyone tuning into the broadcast that may not know, your brother TJ is the new head coach for the Blue Raiders at LD Bell. So what insight and thoughts can you share regarding Dibble versus Dibble?
I think he's probably like me a lot. We really don't think about each other that much. It's probably, I know he's thinking about his kids, and he's trying to build a program. He's just been focused on that. It's been really hard on us because he is my best friend, and so to not be able to communicate with him like we did in the past. He's been at Arlington for a couple of years, and like I said earlier, at one point we were working together on the same staff, and I enjoyed it. I don't know if he did as much. If you don't know him, he is the more compassionate, sensitive, empathetic person, and I am I'm obviously the bigger jerk. I'm sure it's harder for him to have to deal with me, my personality. He's easier to get along with, but really we've been conscious about talking about things, and it's just for me on my end, it's been interesting because in the past I haven't had to worry about it or think about it, saying something like about a fake pun or anything like that. It's just not that we talk about that stuff, but in the past we would talk about football and schemes and things, and now you can't really talk about that until, after this week, obviously we can go back to talking about it, but
sure.
It's been tough to just kind of, I really have purposely stayed away. My parents live next door, so it's been tough. So, so we just don't go next door. If I go to see my mom and dad, I just don't go next door. and then like our kids, they carpool together and they ride together. So they've enjoyed it. They really liked it. They think it's fun to know the head coach at Bell. They think it's cool. And,
Right.
they don't know what's going on really. I mean, for the most part. Now my older kids do. They think it's fun too. But it's been different and interesting. We've played before. We played in I think 2011. We played against each other, and he was just a defensive position coach at Martin, and we won. So it was a good experience for me, not for him.
All right. Well, there we are, folks. This has been Coach Jason Dibble. Thank you all to all of our football fans for joining us for this special halftime segment featuring Coach Jason Dibble. Now sit back and enjoy the conclusion of our halftime broadcast as we prepare for the second half kickoff between the Blue Raiders of LD Bell and your Trojans of Trinity High School. Welcome back, football fans. This week, our broadcasting team continues our session entitled Ask the Coach. Through this streaming event, we interview Trojan head coach Chris Jensen, asking the coach to reflect on last week's game, share this week's team mantra, and answer a few non-traditional, non-football related questions from players, colleagues, and fans. Now, sit back, listen, and enjoy this session of Ask the Coach. Well, hello, football fans, and welcome back to Trinity Sports Network and the Trinity Trojan football season, featuring our Ask the Coach series with head coach Chris Jensen. This will be Game 3 at Panther Stadium as the Panthers of North Crowley High face off against your Trojans of Trinity High. Thank you again for joining us, Coach Jensen.
Anytime.
Let's begin with share your thoughts and your critique regarding the Bell game 2 weeks ago.
Well, we played well, obviously well enough to win. It's always good to beat Bell.
Right.
But one thing we've always strived for, regardless of the result of the game score-wise, we want to play really good football, where you can live with it whether you win or lose,
Right.
And we still made a lot of the same mistakes, I guess kind of dumb hustle, so to speak, or not controlling our temper a little bit. Got a few 15-yarders in there.
Right.
Is the same type of thing that cost us the game against Westlake. And then we were able to, play a Bell team that was not as strong as Westlake and get away with those things and still win the game.
Sure.
But the lesson we got to learn is that, those things have to stop to beat the playoff caliber teams that we're going to be playing like North Crowley.
Right, right. And speaking of them, share with us this week's team mantra and your focal points as you've been preparing for North Crowley.
Well, our theme of the week is play fast. In order to play fast, you got to practice fast because we've been off for 2 weeks.
Right.
Not off, but
sure.
Without an opponent. So it's been a couple of weeks since we've played full speed. So our focus was to try to practice fast and keep that muscle memory, so to speak. So we feel like if we can match their speed, they're a well-coached team. You're not going to get any cheap ones on them. We like our chances if we do what we're supposed to do.
Okay. And in talking with folks, I think one of the things that's on most people's minds, getting your thoughts regarding the whole hype in regards to this Friday night's game and how it will impact the district title.
Well, there's a good chance that North Crowley and Trinity could be the top 2 teams in the district. So, we'll figure that out after the game's over Friday night. But obviously winning the district is good. It's something we've always strived to do, and we've done it quite a bit. But still, the goal is to be as good a team as we can possibly be week 11.
Right.
You know, and so, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, you go and make a nice playoff run. People aren't really going to remember who won the district championship or not, but we sure want to try to do it.
Right. Understandable. Well, Coach, thank you again for your time and taking your time out of a very busy week, I'm sure, and a very busy schedule as y'all prepare for the North Crowley Panthers.
We appreciate you guys, everything that y'all put into this. This is it's really good for the fans that can't make it.
Thank you. Appreciate that. And thanks to all of you and to all of our football fans, whether you're here or abroad, for joining us for this special pregame segment featuring Coach Chris Jensen. Now sit back and enjoy the conclusion of our pregame broadcast as we prepare for the kickoff between the Panthers of North Crowley High and your Trojans of Trinity High School. Welcome back, football fans. If you're just joining us, we'd like to welcome you to Panther Stadium on the campus of North Crowley High School in Crowley, Texas, where at this time I believe our band is preparing to conduct and play the Trinity High School alma mater. Tonight's game here featuring the Panthers of North Crowley High and your Trojans of Trinity High School. As always, we'd like to welcome Coach Jay Fitch to the booth. Coach, welcome. We'll get a little mic here action so that we can
How's
welcome.
it going? Hey, I hear me. That's
there
awesome,
you are.
man.
Yeah. It's all good. It's a little tight tonight in our box, but we're gonna make do and have a good time doing it.
I just thought after last week, Coach Fuller might have turned off my mic for good. I don't know. I was kind of worried about that there for a second. It is pretty tight up here. I mean, it's not, you know, a couple seconds. If the air conditioner wasn't on, it might be an Old Spice commercial.
That's very true. Very, very true. So we continue through our pregame rituals here as our dance teams and cheerleaders are taking their respective places on both adjacent sidelines. And we are just waiting for our officials to begin conducting the remainder of our pregame ceremonies with the alma maters, coin tosses with our captains, and then our national anthem. And so any reflection, Coach, in regards to the Bell game 2 weeks ago?
I don't know. It's 2 weeks ago. I'm really more interested in about this one. We had a pretty good feeling that we had a chance to beat Bell. This team that we're about to play is a legitimate threat to Trinity within the district. You know, we kind of last year walked through everybody. North Crowley has some really good athletes. They have a lot of size. They've been putting up over 400 yards a game offensively. Now, the balance is, have they played anybody yet? The only team with a winning record that they played was DeSoto, and DeSoto had a pretty good game against them. So talking to the coaches, North Crowley has Trinity's attention.
Okay, at this time, our Trinity High School band in the midst of playing the Trinity High School alma mater as the Trinity High School flag slowly processes across the turf. Unique stadium that they have here at North Crowley High. They are in the process of building a brand new stadium. We were talking with members of their coaching staff earlier, planning to break ground just off of Interstate 35 and Risinger Road there in the South Fort Worth area, opposite of the Everman Independent School District, if you're familiar with the area. And so I'm sure that in the near future they will have a very nice new facility for both Crowley High and North Crowley High. And there is the conclusion of the Trinity High School alma mater as we pay respects to the school and the Trojans of Trinity High.
Just so everybody understands, you may not hear much crowd noise tonight because literally the stands back up to our box, and if anybody turns around, we can look them eye to eye. We're not very high up this evening.
That's correct.
So opening a window, you might hear a lot more than you really bargained for, so we're going to try to probably avoid that this evening. But this is not it's like old-fashioned football. It's like what you go if you go to a 3A, 4A stadium, and North Crowley's exploded, and as Jacob said walking up, he said they built a beautiful school and doesn't look like they quite got around to fixing the stadium up.
Exactly, and it was quick. I remember when they first broke ground on North Crowley High. Forever it was just Crowley High School, and then the growth started, and of course now you can go in any direction and you see broken ground everywhere. So the enrollment, I'm sure, over the next few years is just going to just explode, and I'm sure they will be looking at facility increases at all levels here in the Crowley School District.
I bet they get a third campus pretty quick. We drove up down the toll road coming in as the easiest path about the time we came, and there are houses everywhere.
Yeah,
it's just incredible. This used to be kind of a desolate area. Nobody wanted to come this way, and now they put that toll road through, and this is a thriving metropolis almost.
Yes, a lot of farm and ranch land when you and I were boys way out here.
Yep.
You had to get up, I guess, around Sycamore School Road or maybe even Alta Mesa before you really got into South Fort Worth, and there wasn't just a whole lot. So, hey, we turn our attention to the north end of the field where the Trojans have begun to gather, just behind the Trojan Inflatable. And so the football field here at Panther Stadium runs north to south. And so the Trojans right now entering from the north end, and that is where the athletic complex locker rooms are on the north end of the facility. The 9th grade freshman center located on the south end of the facility. A little bit of a walk to get to that campus. But like I say, if you're joining us, welcome. And we hope to be entertaining through our broadcast tonight and bring you some great 6A Region 1 District 3 football action tonight here with the Panthers of North Crowley and your Trojans of Trinity High.
Trinity has the blood clot uniforms on again tonight.
Yes, nice full red, black outlines. The numbers nice and white, nice and bright, very legible. So we'll try to bring you some great play-by-play and highlight a lot of our athletes as they are on the field, both on the offensive and defensive sides of the ball. I talked with Coach Jensen just a little bit. I think the bye week, the break, seemed to come at a real good time here within the district run, and I think they're excited to get back to play, and wrap up our district competition and look forward to the playoff run coming up.
Kind of odd that the district as a whole chose to take the 6th week of the season off, or week 5, depending on how you want to count. The first week is week 0 or 1. It's up to you, but.
Right.
And that gave everybody a break. Trinity, if you remember, we didn't have Gary Maddox in the Bell game.
No.
Maybe I think what I heard, maybe a little turf toe. So giving him a week off before we play the opponent that we would consider the greatest competition right now.
Right.
Nice to hopefully he'll be back. We haven't seen yet, but hopefully we'll see him come popping out early in the offensive set.
Exactly. And we're excited about tonight's game. As Coach Jay's already mentioned, we really think this is going to be a premier game. Honestly, could be the district title game this evening.
I think if we're honest with each other, the winner of this will probably win district. I mean, no offense to any of the other schools, but when you look athlete for athlete and depth and all those different things, North Crowley and Trinity right now are the cream of the crop. Not that something else weird can't happen.
Right.
Heck, we've had fantastic, unbelievable losses in our history, and so have other teams. So, weird things happen. However, this is a very good crew. And this was the first game that I got to join you last year when we played North Crowley.
Yes, it was.
And if you remember that game, early in the game, they had a quarterback in that was a legit quarterback. He did a lot of good things, and they had a hard time moving the ball, and they brought in a young man listed as athlete to the quarterback spot, and he gave us fits. He's probably about 5'8", 5'9", runs all over the place, hard to tackle, and he is now the quarterback. Talked to the coaches, and anybody that's paid attention to Trinity for very long said basically he is a poor man's Des White. So if you go back to the DeSoto teams back in 13 maybe, That really good player. Went to TCU, played receiver for them for 4 years. They kind of liken him to Des White, which is a guy that you got to keep in the pocket. May change the defensive look. You know, we've been bringing pressure on people. You got somebody like that, you don't necessarily want to vacate the second level because if you miss, now you got to chase, and he's pretty quick.
So as the pregame rituals come to completion, the Trojans begin their march here in the field of competition. And we direct your attention at this time to their position adjacent to the sideline, as we'll pause just a moment and you can view in as they will perform their ceremonial sippy towel. The Trojans of Trinity High School and their ceremonial sippy towel as they will now take position on their adjacent sideline, and we wait for the entry of the Panthers of North Crowley. We will also have the captains be meeting at the midfield stripe momentarily.
I think they may have already done that.
Oh, you think so?
Yep.
Okay, all right. I do see we have an ROTC squad here on the north end zone presenting of the colors, so we're just awaiting the Panthers to take the field, and they will do that at this time, and then I'm sure that that will be followed by our national anthem. So we will allow the Panthers to take the field, and then we will pause out of respect to the colors in this great nation. About 2 minutes and 2.5 minutes here on the clock, Panther Stadium, prior to kickoff. Just my early take here on this field of competition, but it looks like that the Trojans are here, and looks like they're taking matters down to business, so to speak.
I hope so. We've had a couple of weeks where we really felt like going into the game. We had a great opportunity to win. And like I said, talking to some of the players that are in my class, talking to the coaches, North Crowley has Trinity's attention, a little bit deeper focus than what we might have had in the last couple of games, just talking to the guys. So a little bit more film study, a little bit more serious in preparation, something we need. So that's good to see.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, to honor America, they're asking us to stand. We invite you to pause and honor this great country by joining us as we listen in to, I believe, the playing of our national anthem. So with that, our pregame rituals come to an end here at Panther Stadium on the campus of North Crowley High School.
I didn't see what happened. It looks like, based on how we're lining up, that we may have won the toss and deferred. Or it looks like our kickoff team's coming out on the field. So North Crowley will have the ball first. Interesting, North Crowley's well thought of. They're getting a lot of really positive press. The pressure that Trinity normally feels to go out and perform, North Crowley has a little bit on them too. There's a lot of people talking about what a great opportunity they have to go several rounds deep in the playoffs. They're facing the second legitimate opponent. No offense to the other teams they've played, but the second legitimate opponent that they've had. They didn't do well in the first game, so the pressure's a little bit more equal than what we've seen some. Trinity usually carries the brunt of it. Tonight will be a little bit interesting.
So the Panthers with man back deep, number 17. The Trojans taking hold of the football, teeing it up for kickoff. It's going to be our kicker, number 91, Kelson Cotner. Cotner teeing the ball up here at Panther Stadium.
This is watch for a kick, a specific type of kick. I doubt they'll go deep. Tried to put it in a nice spot.
Cotner with a nice kick down, bouncing around the 1 yard line,
Perfect
bouncing in
kick.
and out of the end zone.
That is a perfect kick.
So that will be the Panthers' touchback, which means the ball will be brought out to the 25. This will be the Panthers' first possession of play here in the first half.
Let's see how the defense handles this quarterback that can really move around. They have a lot of rush yards. They also have thrown the ball pretty equally as well. But the run, the scramble, the spread you out and create space for number 10 has kind of been a thing. And we see that here early. They're empty in the backfield.
So the Panthers trips to the near side, home stands, twins to the other. We got men in motion. Now we go to a two-set back. Here's the snap. It's a handoff to the back. He's met near the line of scrimmage. Brought down with what looks like what will be maybe a gain of a yard or two on the play. That'll bring up 2nd and 8 for the Panthers from their own 27-yard line.
For any of those looking at home, that was the veer. If you remember the veer offense from back in the day, that was an option-type offense.
Trips now going quads to the near side. Here's the snap by the Panthers. He's going to take the ball, call his own number on a quarterback keeper, and he is wrapped up by that defensive line quickly for a loss.
Didn't have the numbers. You know, we always talk about numbers in the box. They didn't have the numbers. This was a called play. There was not a read. We get a lot of RPOs and things like that. That was a called quarterback draw, and they were running into an outnumbered front that time.
So loss of 4 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 12 for the Panthers from their own 23. He takes a snap, drops back, looking down the far sideline, and that's going to be off the fingertips of number 11 and falls incomplete for the Panthers.
Malik Moore is the number 11 receiver for them. He's highly thought of. He's about 6'4", 6'5", good-looking young man. Just off his fingertips.
Indication penalty being charged to the Trojan defense. So the official will mark off 5 yards and will repeat 3rd down. 2
most penalized teams in the district. Let's see who gets the fewest.
So 3rd and 7 again for the Panthers.
Tight end in. A little bit more of a power set.
Ball on their 28. Trips to the near side.
Tight
Single
end's
back.
Covered.
Quarterback takes the snap, drops back. He's looking down. He has a man, and he's hit. And that, a late flag coming in deep from the very back official.
Might have gotten there just a little bit early. That was really, really close.
So if so, that's going to be a pass interference penalty going to be called against the Trojan defense. Oh, it's a holding penalty.
No, I think we have them both.
And a pass interference penalty. So
Trinity catches a break there that we had 2 penalties on this.
So those penalties will offset, and we will once again repeat 3rd and 7 here for the Panthers from their own 28-yard line.
Be big for Trinity to get off the field on this first series.
So a big third down play right here. Once again, we've got a trip set by the Panthers here to the home side. Single back. Here's the snap. He takes the snap, drops back. He's looking downfield for a deep ball. That thing hung, and the Trojans going to pull off the interception here in the first quarter of play. That ball's picked off by number 13.
Jacob Schaefer, nobody shocked by that. Jacob seems to just be where the ball is when those passes go deep. Again, remember I said the quarterback for North Crowley, Quentin Jackson, incredibly fast, hard to maintain, listed as athlete. So the throwing for him, not quite sure how accurate he's going to be.
So the Trojan offense taking their first possession of play here in the first half. It's going to be 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 38-yard line. They break the offensive huddle. Split receiver to the home side, single back. Here's the snap. It's a keep by number 2, Ollie Gordon, the quarterback. He's down the home side. He's to the 50, the 40. He's down to the 30. It's going to be a foot race. He's to the 15, the 10, and he's going to go in for a Trojan touchdown.
That's a good start. They slanted to the strength. North Crowley did. Trinity ran counter to the weak side. That left one guy out there. He was covered up on the block, and then it's Ollie versus the corner, and I like our chances. It's a good start.
Good start. So on the point after, number 12, Cade Bartholomew on to hold. Number 91, Kelson Cotner for the attempt. Here's the snap, the hold. The kick is up, and the indication is it's good. So with 10:38 remaining in the first quarter of play, the Trojans jump out in front, leading the Panthers 7-0.
It's a good start. That's a well-blocked play. They did a nice job covering up. The defenders didn't put them on the ground per se, but they were involved. They weren't able to get off the blocks. And we know Ollie on the edge. And Ollie ran a good route. He bounced. He took it into the hole, bounced outside just a little bit, and it was a foot race up the sideline. We didn't see him immediately head outside. And that's one of those things we've said earlier in the season, kind of staying in the hole, trusting the blocking scheme before you make that cut to the outside. He did that perfectly on that play. Has to be a little disheartening.
So as the special teams come back onto the field, we want to take this time to pause for our first quarter offensive spotlight. This first quarter offensive senior spotlight is sponsored by our men's and women's basketball teams under the leadership of coaches Mark Valines and Brent Gillum for the men and coaches Doug Sporier and Jenny McKinney for the ladies. This offensive spotlight features Elian Norwood, number 80, a 6'2", 205-pound tight end. When talking with Elian, he said he desires to attend the University of North Carolina and major in business. So best of luck to Elian, not just through this season in his senior year, but also as he pursues a career in business and attends the University of North Carolina. The Trojans special team once again kick off, that ball bouncing in and out of the end zone. And so on their second possession of play, the Panthers will take hold of their second possession. 1st and 10 for the Panthers from their own 25-yard line.
Hey, not to make shout out, but Elian's in my calculus class.
Hey, all right, Elian. All right, hey, Coach Fuller wants to make sure that all of our fans know we are in a very tight location here this evening. And with that, your views may be a little bit tight and sometimes obscure, but we're going to do the best that we can as we continue through this broadcast to make sure we bring you everything possible, not just audio, but also through our video. So on that play, they give it's a gain of about a yard for the Panthers. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 9. We've got trips to the home side. Here's the take. Quarterback keeps, calls his own number. Over the right side, he's going to gain around, looks like 7 on the play. And so that's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Panthers from their own 33-yard line.
You guys watching at home, you just have to understand every once in a while he's going to get away. And they're going to make some first downs, and they're going to move the chains. It's just a matter of making them work for it. No big plays. That was a good run right there. They got Kerry out in space against him. Kerry did everything he could to turn him back inside to where the defense is coming from. But it's a tough assignment.
So the Panthers take the snap again, hand the ball off. They're met at the line of scrimmage. And this is going to be a real tight spot here.
Oh, they gave it to him.
Yep, indication by our officiating crew, that's going to be sufficient enough yardage for a Panther first down. So it's going to be 1st and 10 Panthers from their own 35-yard line.
Somebody didn't get up.
Indication by our officiating crew, we have a offensive timeout. Looks like their quarterback here, Coach Jay. Maybe
Well,
not. Maybe. Yeah, I think so.
They list him at 5'10", 175. I saw him in pregame. He might be 5'8", 155. And he just tried to drop his shoulder and run through some of our defensive linemen. I don't know if that was a good plan. And then he got a pile of bodies on top of him. He just got caught at the bottom of the pile. Hopefully it's just some got the wind knocked out of him. Outstanding player. He can really, really run. I think he was a district champion last year in the 100 meters. Just a super athlete.
So with this official timeout, and since our defense is in their possession here on the field, we'll take this moment to highlight our first quarter defensive senior spotlight. This spotlight is being sponsored by our gymnastics team, coached by Becky Shaw and Travis Coburn. This defensive spotlight features Alex Morris, number 27, a 5'10", 233-pound defensive lineman. In talking with Alex about his plans following graduation, Alex said he desires to attend Texas A&M while pursuing his life career in real estate. So best of luck to Alex, not only in this game this evening, but through his senior year, this senior season, and also in his life career of real estate while attending Texas A&M University. Number 10, the quarterback being helped off. Looks like either an ankle or maybe even a knee. And so that's going to change the whole perspective of this game, Coach Jay, if he's out for the remainder either of the half or the game.
I don't know much about their backup. I imagine that'll make it a bit more of a pass kind of game. They're going to have to get their halfbacks involved. It should open Trinity up to be a little bit more aggressive attacking the ball. We'll see how that goes defensively, but that's a huge loss. We just need to hope that's not going to be an extensive injury.
Right.
North Crowley is going to be representing the district really well come playoff time. We need him back healthy for them to make the district look good.
So number 12 looks like he's under quarterback for the Panthers. A gain of a yard on the play, going to bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Panthers from their own 36-yard line. Twins to the far side. Here's the snap. It's a give to the back, and he is immediately wrapped up by that defensive front. Going to be a loss of 2 on the play for the Panthers. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 11 from their own 34-yard line.
I think Anthony Farrell got some snaps. He's a senior. I think he got some snaps a little bit last year. Not the quarterback that they had last year as a starter. He looks more like the prototypical quarterback, probably about 6'2", good-looking young man. Interested to see what his arm looks like, and I imagine we'll get to see it on this play, 3rd down and 12.
So Twins to the far side, split receiver single this side. He does take the snap, drops back. Now he's under pressure from the defense, and he's going to be toe tackled and brought down way behind the line by that Trojan defense.
Darrell Watkins, great job off the edge. Looked like for a minute he'd given up contain. He recovered well. Great tackle. Big loss. Great opportunity right here. Trinity needs to pour it on this first quarter. See if they can kind of kill the will a little bit of the North Crowley Panthers.
So a loss of 8 here. That's going to bring up a 4th and 20 here for the Panthers from their own 25-yard line.
Nothing silly, and I doubt they punt to Ollie.
So the punt team on for the Panthers. Here's the snap. The punt is away. Looks like it's going to take a bounce around the 47-yard line, and the Panthers will have to kill it, and the Trojans will take over their second possession of play here in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 46-yard line.
Okay, we scored in 1 on the last one. Let's see what we do here. Set us back on the 45. Must have just been easier to get the 1st and 10 that way, but goodness me. Glad that wasn't serious.
No kidding. I thought I had that call correct.
I watched where they caught it. Seriously, it looked like they just set it back and said, hey, let's go off the big long line.
All right, so 1st and 10 Trojans. From our 45, they break the huddle quickly. Formation. Here's the snap. It's a give to number 3. He's up the middle. He's over the 50, and he's going to be into Panther territory.
That's a good run by Gary. I like the way he finished that. We missed him against Bell a couple weeks ago, but that's the kind of runs that we've been seeing from him. Solid 8-yard run. Stayed up in the hole with his blockers. Well done.
So 7 minutes remaining here in the first quarter of play, if you're interested about the time here at Panther Stadium. It's going to be 2nd and 2 for the Trojans as they break the huddle. Once again, they come out. Twins to the far side. Shotgun formation, single back. Here's the snap. It's a fake. It's a keeper by number 2, Gordon. And he's going to, looks like he's going to advance the ball and have sufficient enough yardage for a Trojan first down.
Wynn got the first down. I like that. You know, he didn't go try to make something special out of that. He kept the chains moving. That's a good play on that. It was a counter back to the quick side. They defended it really well. Ollie found yards, got the first down. It's a good run.
So the Trojans breaking the offensive huddle, coming to the line. 1st and 10 from the Panther 45-yard line. I formation. Here's the snap. It's a give to number 3. He's up over the right side of the line. Be a gain of 3 on the play. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Trojans from the Panther 42-yard line.
Got some pretty good push downhill. If you look at the defense, if you're watching at home, you're seeing them start creeping closer and closer. Their safeties right now are playing at 7 yards. See if Trinity tries to take a shot over the top.
Shotgun formation. Here's the snap. He fakes the give. It's on the keeper over the right side. He's going to gain about a yard on the play, so that's going to bring up what looks to be a 3rd and 6. A
lot of extracurricular stuff going on both sides. Remember, North Crowley's not afraid to be a little chippy.
Right. Kind of reminds me of a Lamar team to a degree.
Yeah, maybe.
Or
Martin? Nah, maybe. Yeah, Martin. We'll go with Martin.
Yeah, we'll go with Martin. Let's do that.
Not a big fan. We'll go with Martin.
We'll do that. Okay, so 3rd and 6 for the Trojans as they break the offensive huddle. Twins to the near side. Shotgun formation.
Play action.
Here's the snap by Gordon. There's a fake. He's looking. He finds a hole. Little dance right here, but he's going to be held to no yards on the play, and a late flag coming in from the side judge here.
May have a hold. I'd probably turn that one down if I was a defensive coach. Don't want to give him 2 chances.
So our indication by our officiating crew looks like a hold. It looks like that they are going to decline that penalty. Yep.
Would really like to see some kind of pass, some kind of play action. See if we can get Ollie out on a sprint out on the edge where he's a run-pass threat. I think we're going to go for it here on 4th.
This is a big call by the Trojans here early in the game. 4th and 6 from the Panther 41-yard line.
It is a definite field position play.
Yes, it is. The Trojans break the offensive huddle, single back in the backfield. Gordon looking to the sideline.
Looking for no play to see if they would jump.
Here's the snap. The give to number 3. He's up to the 40.
Now, that was ultra conservative. I just don't like that at all.
Oh, and the late flag coming in post-play. Here's, oh, my goodness.
There's a lot of pushing and shoving going on. North Crowley is looking to
and
bait.
Coaches on the field.
Looking to bait is what they're doing right now. Got North Crowley guys. Oh, goodness me. Coaches just need to get off the field. That's horrible. Come on now. We talk about lack of discipline for Trinity, but good grief. North Crowley's whole staff's out there on the field. That's bad.
So a conference taking place right now between the officiating crew and head coach Chris Jensen over near the Trojan hash. So we're awaiting the call by the officiating crew as the official consults with the Panther head coach.
I think everything is dead ball, which means Crowley will have the ball. North Crowley will have the ball. North Crowley's bailing down inside. It'd be nice to see if Trinity tried to get out on the perimeter once or twice next time offensively.
So the Trojan defense has taken to the field, to the turf, and so they're anticipating that this is going to be a dead ball offsetting penalty, I believe, by both teams.
Probably.
We'll see exactly what we got right here. Here's the call by the official. Yeah, personal foul.
Dead balls.
Dead balls being charged to both teams. So those penalties will offset. That was a 4th down play, so the ball will go over on down to the Panthers. So this will bring up the Panthers' 3rd possession of play here in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Panthers from their own 41-yard line.
Pretty conservative calling just then for Trinity. Kind of interesting, trying to keep it up inside. They've got 7 to 8 guys up in the box. Safety's at 7 yards. Let's see if we make an adjustment here next series.
So third possession of play, 1st and 10 Panthers. From their 41, we have trips to the near side, shotgun formation. We also have a twins to the far side, empty backfield. He takes a snap, looks to the slot receiver. The pass is caught by 17, and that's going to be sufficient enough yardage and a gain for a Panther first down.
That was an alignment pass. Trinity was basically manned up on the outside receivers, or manned up on the outside receiver with halves inside of that. A zone defense inside of that, but the safety was off about 12 yards, and that was just take 3 steps and turn around.
So the Panthers break the offensive huddle, trips to the far side, single back. Here's the snap. It's a give to the back. He's over the left side, and he meets the Trojan defense. Looks like it might be a gain of half a yard on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and long 9 for the Panthers. Inside Trojan territory, that ball is going to be placed at the Trojan 47-yard line.
By going forward on 4th down, obviously you gave them a little momentum. You also gave them a little bit of field position on that last call.
So obviously the Trojans have a lot of faith here defensively. Defensively, we have been looking very solid. Here's a 2nd down for the Panthers. Split receiver to the far side, twins near. It's a give to the running back, and he's met by the Trojan defensive line. It's going to be a gain of 4, though, on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 5, I believe, here for the Panthers from the Trojan 43-yard line.
Going a little bit quick.
So a big 3rd down play coming up here for the Trojan defense. Twins to the near side. Oh, shotgun formation. The quarterback takes a snap. He starts to drop back. He's
Good
under pressure,
play.
and he's caught from behind. It'll be no gain on the play for the Panthers, so that's going to bring up a 4th and long 4.
That was Tovo Isaeli coming from the backside safety, mirroring that quarterback all the way across. That was a really nice play. And it looks like
So the Panthers, it looks to me like they're switching personnel, will bring on their punt team here on 4th down.
I imagine Trinity will be in punt safe. They won't put anybody back. They'll probably stay in some kind of defensive formation just to make sure this is truly a punt. 42-yard line, you're into the field. Inside of 5 yards, make sure you don't jump. Sit in there. Blocking, it's not a big deal. Just get the ball back.
3 minutes on the clock as the Panthers do punt the ball away. That ball is going to hit down around the 10. Takes a bounce for the Panthers, and it's going to be blown dead down around what should be the Trojan 9-yard line. So the Trojans going to take over their 3rd possession of play here in the first half. Should be 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 9.
Based on how North Crowley's playing right now, Trinity has to look to get the ball on the perimeter, see if they can get the ball outside, whether it be pass or sweep. Sometimes you fear North Crowley's speed because they can just flat run. But I think if we can get a hat on hat, we got a chance on the edges.
So the Trojans here on their 3rd possession. Breaking the offensive huddle, coming to the line. Split receiver to the far side. I formation for the Trojans. Number 2, Gordon under center. Man in motion. Here's the snap. It's a toss to the right side. He breaks to the outside. He's to the 15, going to be to the 20, and he'll finally be forced out of bounds. And a late flag coming in from the far side judge.
I think we had a face mask on that, and just like we talked about, Trinity made an adjustment, got the toss to the outside, took advantage of the fact they're all up in between the tackles, had a nice 12-yard run, get you out of a hole. You tack on the 15-yard face mask to this, so Trinity's instantly back in pretty good field position to work this drive.
So indication is a personal foul, face mask, charged to the Panther defense. So they're going to mark off 15 yards, respot the ball at the Trojan 35, and that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
Great opportunity to take a shot down the field. First down, they're not expecting it. Some kind of play action. Are we in the gun?
Yes,
should be some kind of counter.
Mm-hmm. So we take the snap. It's going to be a keep by Gordon. He bounces to the outside. He's still on his feet. He's down to the 45. He's over to the 50. Oh, a little bit tripped up, and he's going to be into Panther territory. Finally knocked out of bounds at the Panther 45-yard line.
That was a 20-yard run on a play that should have been 3. That was a pretty nice job. He just kept weaving in and out.
So sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down. It's going to be 1st and 10 Trojans for the Panther 45-yard line. 2:15 remaining in the first quarter of play. The Trojans leading the Panthers 7-0 here at Panther Stadium.
That was the same play we've talked about in the past that Ollie had a tendency to really bounce out early. That time he tried to keep it up in there. He forced the defense to commit inside, and then he just used some talent. to make them miss and get outside.
So Twins split to the far side, shotgun formation. Single back, in motion to the far side. Gordon takes a snap,
there he
drops
is.
back. He's looking. He finds the man across the middle. Oh!
Threw it off his back foot, didn't set his feet.
The pass falling short and incomplete for the Trojans. 2 men over the middle and even out wide, I believe, wide open there for the Trojans. A real good look as the Panther defense, as you have said, has really been creeping up.
They're running downhill.
Yeah. So we're still in front of the chain, so to speak, here, Coach Jay. 2nd and 10 here for the Trojans at the Panther 45.
Need to get about 5 here. Give yourself a chance for 3rd down. Get it down to 2 or 3.
Twins to the far side. Shotgun formation. Single back. Here's the snap. It's a give. No, it's a fake. It's a keep by number 2. He's still on his feet. He's down to the 35, still moving. And he's going to advance the ball inside the 35, and that'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan 1st down.
Okay, I didn't see that for sure, but Gary can help that play if he'll accelerate after the fake. You know, those guys are watching. He needs to run like he's got the ball in his hand, pull his hands in. Coach Line, we used to call it the claw. Make a claw across your chest like you've got the ball and try to get – you don't block anybody physically. You block them by making them chase.
Right. Okay, so we've got the Trojans breaking the offensive huddle, shotgun formation, Twins to the far side, 1st and 10 from the Panther 34. Gordon with the keeper advances the ball, and he's going to wind up short of the line of scrimmage. Going to be a loss of 1 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 11 for the Trojans from the Panther 35-yard line.
Just a straight quarterback sweep, some kind of movement, some kind of misdirection right there may help that, but that's hard to do. Looks like Cade's going to come in at the quarterback right now. Ollie's headed off for a minute. He's been running quite a bit. May change a little bit of how we attack right here.
So number 12, Cade Bartholomew coming on.
Needs to get us in and out of the huddle. Got short time.
8 seconds. We break the huddle. It's I formation. He's under center. Twins to the far side. 2nd and 11. Here's the snap. A give to Maddox. He's going to bounce over the right side, keeping his feet. Advances the ball down inside the 30, down to the 27. That's going to be about a gain of, looks like 9 on the play.
They shortened
8.
us up a little bit. That was a big boy run right there by Maddox. That was a really nice job. We needed that. Get us back up even with the chains. Got 2 downs to get this first. Probably going to let the quarter run out and then come back out, get a chance to have a conversation going into the 2nd quarter.
So it will be 3rd and 3 for the Trojans as soon as we come back from our quarter break. As the clock ticks off to 0, the Trojans leading the Panthers 7-0. Let's take just a moment here on our break to do a Trinity Sports shout-out here between the 1st and 2nd quarter. This shout-out presented by Athletic Coordinator Barry Fuller and Head Coach Chris Jensen. They send this shout-out to all of our Trinity High School coaches and their families who week in and week out invest unspeakable amount of time and energy into all of our Trinity sports teams. So if you know a coach or if you know one of their family members, we here at TSN encourage you, please call or text or even send an email, a note of appreciation and gratitude to them for all that they do at Trinity High School. And so from all of us here at TSN and our team, thank you not only for your support, but we thank you for everything that you do throughout the various sports seasons through each and every school year. So back to our field of play here at Panther Stadium. To begin our 2nd quarter, the Trojans leading the Panthers 7-0. Trojans with their 3rd possession of play as we rotate the field. Headed north to south, left to right. 3rd and 3 for the Trojans from the Panther 27-yard line.
2 down territory. You have 2 downs to get this. Trinity, unless they feel good about a field goal, but if you're kind of into what win there is and be a little bit more than 40 yards, we know that we can kick it, but it sure be nice to go ahead and get this first.
They break the offensive huddle, I formation. Gordon under center, does a counter around the far sideline, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds.
No,
I
he's
believe.
in. Hands
Is
are
he
up.
in? Hands
Yeah.
are up. It's going to be a Trojan touchdown.
That's the same play they ran against Colleyville Heritage, just a little quarterback counter. You get full flow this way from the backs. The linebackers start leaning this way. We have a puller, 2 pullers, I think, in front of him. Pops around the corner. That was a great call by Coach Bartholomew on that. Coming out of the quarter, nice job.
Special teams on the field for the point after. Number 12, Cade Bartholomew for the hold. Number 91, Cotner for the attempt. Here's the snap, the hold. The ball is up, And it's good. So with 11:51 remaining in our first half of play here at Panther Stadium, the Trojans extend the lead over the Panthers 14-0. With this, let's do our second quarter offensive senior spotlight. This spotlight is sponsored by our athletic training program under the leadership of our two athletic trainers, Dr. John Brunette and Dr. Trina Hughes. This offensive spotlight features Cameron Anderson, number 46, a 5'8", 142-pound running back. When talking with Cameron, Cameron said he desires to attend Mississippi State University following graduation, and he would like to major in business and engineering. So the best of luck to Cameron Anderson, not only through his senior year and this senior football season, but also as he plans to attend Mississippi State University and major in business and engineering.
Hadn't had a lot of Mississippi State guys, have we?
No, we haven't. No, and only Mississippi State person I think I know is Axton. I think Axton is a Mississippi State guy.
He went there on purpose?
I think so. I think he said he went there so he could come home.
No, I got you.
You know what I mean?
I got you.
And so Axton, he's not listening to us. I see him down there. Looks like he's opposite of about the 15-yard line. Here's the kick by the special teams. Cotner's kick is up, end over end, floating. It's going to be inside the 10.
Ball's on the ground.
And it's, oh my gosh, in and out of the hands of the Trojan special teams.
Wow.
And it's going to be recovered by the Panthers.
Wow. Got to have those. Just got to make that play.
How exciting was that? I mean, right through the bucket, so to speak, that special teams returner. And I thought that was going to bounce right up into the hands of our special team cover person. He was going to look like he could go for 6.
It was a muff. You can't advance it, but it sure would be nice to have the ball in the 18.
I'm telling you. So the Panthers taking over their 4th possession of play here in the first half. It's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 18-yard line. Trips to the far side, man in motion, making it a quad, single receiver near, shotgun formation. Here's the snap. He drops back. He's looking. He's under pressure. He's scrambling to the far side, and that ball is going to be thrown out of bounds and incomplete for the Panthers.
Good to see for North Crowley. Quarterback's back in the game. Number 10's back in. A little bit of a limp as he sprinted out on that one. Quentin Jackson, maybe not quite the quickness that he's had. Still could outrun me.
All right. I think any of us. Okay, and so they break the huddle. Trips to the far side, split receiver near, lone back. They give the ball. It's going to be a gain of 4 on the play for the Panthers. So that's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Panthers from their own 22-yard line.
I don't know if there's a formation tell. I don't know exactly what it is right now, but I don't think Trinity has been tricked by anything that we've seen. So obviously a really good job on the scouting part to see what's going on. 2 backs in this one, maybe some kind of option.
3rd and 6. Here's the snap. He drops back. He's looking down the near side. He lets it go over the middle, and that ball is going to fall incomplete and over the head of anyone within the area. So that's going to bring up a 4th and long, and the Panthers will elect to bring on their special team.
If we can get him to pass the ball, we got a chance. That's not his forte. He is not going to want to throw the ball down the field. Now, they've got great receivers, and he may hit one here in a minute, but that's just not necessarily what their game plan is.
So 11 minutes, just a little over 11 minutes here at Panther Stadium. Their punt team taking to the turf. Number 2, Gordon, back near the Trojan 40-yard line, waiting for the kick. Here's the snap. The punt is up and away. It's a high knuckleball. It's going to bounce at the 40, take a Trojan bounce, and that's finally going to be blown dead by the Panthers down near the Trojan 30-yard line.
Good punt.
So this will bring up the Trojans' 4th possession of play here in the first half. It's going to be 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 30-yard line.
I would venture to say that Ollie's already over 100 yards. Jake, you think I'm probably right? That was a nod of yes, in case anybody didn't hear that at home.
So 10 minutes and 49 seconds remaining on the clock here at Panther Stadium in our first half of play. The Trojans up by 14 over the Panthers, 14-0. 1st and 10, Trojans on their 4th possession of play. They break the huddle, I formation. Here's the snap by Gordon.
Didn't fool him on the trap that time.
It's a give to the fullback, and he was swallowed up by that Panther defensive line. No gain on the play. That'll bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Trojans from their own 30.
42, Axel Tapsoba. If I'm saying your name wrong, I apologize. Good-looking young man. He's a big boy. Four-man front, even front for those of y'all at home that enjoy that kind of stuff.
So the Trojans break the offensive huddle. I formation. Gordon under center takes a snap, pitches it out to number 3. He chooses his path and advances the ball 4 yards. Gain on the play. Going to bring up 3rd and 6 from their own 34-yard line.
This situation I'd like to see, and then you got to go way back a little bit, but 2009, this was a Willie Hubbard kind of play where we're going to sprint him out. We're going to get him on an edge, run an easy route for him to throw, and if they choose to cover, now you got to tackle him.
So 3rd and 6 here for the Trojans from their own 34. Shotgun formation, split receiver to the far side. It's a fake give to the running back. Gordon is going to be swallowed up for a loss of 2 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 8 for the Trojans from their own 33-yard line.
I think we're going to have to punt.
So indication by the personnel change. The Trojans elect to bring on their special teams here on 4th down. Number 91, Kelson Cotner, in to punt the ball away for the Trojans. At this time, no one is back deep for the Panthers.
Oh, there goes somebody.
Number 17 coming off the sideline. Down back around the and a flag right here. I believe that's going to be a delay of game.
Yep,
delay of game being charged to the Trojan special teams. There's some confusion here. There's a lot of conversation going on by head coach Chris Jensen.
They held us up because there were subs, and they stayed over the ball basically until North Crowley got set. A little bit iffy on that. When you get a sub in, you have to have an opportunity to get a defensive sub in, but there's a time. It's not until you get comfortable. There's just a time that you got to get that guy in. I think they're going to mark 5 yards off.
So head coach Chris Jensen voices his displeasure, but they're still marking off 5 yards for the delay of game on the Trojan special teams. So that's going to move the ball back to the Trojan 28-yard line. Cotner still in position for the punt. Number 17 up to the Panther 40-yard line. Here's the snap. The ball is away.
Good punt.
Floating to the far sideline. It's going to take a Trojan bounce. And the Trojans will kill that ball down around the Panther 34-yard line. So the Panthers will take over their 5th possession of play here in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 Panthers from their own 33. I believe we must have a timeout on the turf. So with that timeout, we'll highlight our defensive senior spotlight for the second quarter. This second quarter senior defensive spotlight is sponsored by our volleyball team, coached by Mia Lange, Zuela Adam, and T. Lange. This defensive spotlight features Elijah Wesley, number 41, a 6-foot, 172-pound defensive back. When talking with Elijah regarding his plans following graduation, Elijah stated he desires to attend the University of Texas at Arlington. He wants to major in computer science to pursue the development of applications and video production towards his own business in the future. Best of luck to Elijah Wesley, not just through his senior season and senior year, but also as he moves forward to UTA and his pursuit of computer science in owning his own business.
They called a block below the waist on Trinity on a punting, any kind of kick, any kind of interception where there's a change of possession, you have to block above the waist. So they called a block below the waist. It's a personal foul. It's in this case, half the distance. It's going to move Trinity back to about the 14-yard line for this punt. Should give North Crowley some good field position.
So fourth and a very long piece of yardage here for the Trojans.
Hope we can punt for a first.
Cotner standing on his goal line. The Panthers standing on the Trojans' 40. Here's the snap. It's a low snap. Cotner is going to get the football away.
That's a good play.
And the returner is going to field the ball and down that ball at the Trojan 40-yard line.
If that ball gets by him, that's going to roll forever. That's a really nice play by the North Crowley return man. Good job getting down and getting that. I believe Coach Averett told me before that might be their second baseman. And said he was a really good player, and he kind of played that like a second baseman.
He sure did. So this is going to bring up the Panthers' sixth possession of play here in the first half. 8:18 remaining in the second quarter. 1st and 10, Panthers from the Trojan 41-yard line. Twins to the near side, split receiver far, shotgun formation, single back. Here's the snap. It's a high snap, fakes the give, looks for the receiver. That pass falls incomplete, but once again, a late flag coming in from the back judge.
They're going to call an interference, and that sure shouldn't be where the ball's set because that throw was 6 yards.
So indication is an interference call charged to the Trojan defense. So the official will mark off the penalty.
Oh, my heavens. They had no idea where the spot was. They gave him a 10-yard penalty on a 4-yard pass.
So they're going to reset the chains at the Trojan 30-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Twins to the near side, shotgun formation. It's a give to the back. He goes up the middle, bounces to the back, and he's hit by that Trojan defense and brought down. Loss of no gain on the play.
Another flag on the play. Don't know what this one's going to be. They're going to call hands to the face maybe on Trinity.
So a personal foul, hands to the face, charged to the Trojan defense.
Wow. We are definitely in North Crowley.
So the officiating crew about to mark off, I believe, 10 more yards here.
North Crowley has a first down. The officials have 4. This is ridiculous.
So the officials marking off 15 against the Trojans. That's going to be a 1st and 10 for the Panthers from the Trojan 15-yard line.
Only thing is they can't penalize them into the end zone.
So the Trojan defense now digging a little bit of hole here with consecutive back-to-back penalties. So they've been real good so far when we get into the red zone. We'll see how they respond here. The Panthers breaking the offensive huddle. Shotgun formation. Here's the snap. The quarterback's going to keep it. He's going to be hit behind the line of scrimmage, and he's going to be brought down for a loss of 2 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 12 for the Panthers from the Trojan 18-yard line.
Good defense right there. Is a good job.
7.5 remaining in the first half of play here at Panther Stadium. The Trojans leading by 14 to nothing over the Panthers. Panthers break the offensive huddle. They've got trips to the far side, split receiver near, shotgun formation, single back. Here's the snap. He's dropping back. He's looking to pass, looking over the middle. Pressure beginning to come, and there's the pressure right there, and he gets sacked and brought down at the Trojan 30-yard line.
That's a great close by Naimose. He really came on strong. Closed out really, really well. Really good play.
So a big loss for the Panthers, backing them up to the Trojan 28. Going to be 3rd and 22 here for the Panthers.
Once again, we talked about just keeping him corralled. Don't let him out there running around. Give him space to run. Make him throw the ball. We've seen that he's not been really efficient throwing the ball.
So on 3rd down, he on the shotgun formation, takes a snap, rolls to the far side, looking for a receiver. He has one that gets away from the defender. That pass is called, and that ball is going to be advanced down near the Trojan 1-yard line. I believe there's a flag on the play.
They called us for not getting off the field.
And with that, illegal substitution being charged to the Trojans, that penalty will be declined. And the play will stand, and so that's going to bring a 1st and goal for the Panthers from the Trojan 1-yard line.
some kind of power run right here. I don't know if it'll be the quarterback. They'll get it into the running back, number 5's. Just see if they can push it up in here.
Panthers break the offensive huddle. Trips to the near side. Here's the snap. It's a give. He does power in. No indication from our officiating crew. They're running to the pile. I believe the Trojans had the ball in their hand, Coach.
I'm not sure. Right now the referee does.
Indication by the official, the Panthers retain the football. That's going to bring up a 2nd and goal for the Panthers from what looks to still be around the 1-yard line.
Need to get some push up front. Need to beat them off the ball right here. See if you can reestablish the line of scrimmage on their side.
Shotgun formation. Looks like more of a veer set. Here's the snap. It's a give to number 5. And this time he's going to power his way in, and that will be a Panther touchdown. So with 5:21 remaining in the first half of play here at Panther Stadium, the Panthers are on the board.
Got ourselves a football game.
As they bring in their special teams to hold number 19 on the attempt will be their point after number 43. Here's the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it's good. So with 5:21 remaining in the first half of play, the Trojans leading the Panthers by 7, 14-7 here at Panther Stadium. So as we talked about, we felt like this would be good competition for us here in the district schedule, and it is turning out to be a game here at Panther Stadium.
A lot of penalties on that to keep them, to move them down there. Let a receiver get loose to throw a ball down to the 1. So Trinity didn't do anything to help themselves on that series defensively. Referees calling it tight. You know, we'll see how we do defensively. And as we said, they're going to score a couple. It's going to happen. We just need to make sure offensively we do a good job holding onto the football. Remember, they get the ball to start the second half. This is a big possession. It'd be nice to walk it down the field. Oh, I'm sorry. We get the football to start the second half.
Yes, that's correct.
So this would be a big possession if we could walk it down the field, put some points on the board, and then come back and get the ball right back to start the third quarter. So we would call this a 2-for drive.
So the Trojans special team on for the return.
Ooh.
Here's the kickoff. It's short. The Trojans fielding the ball, advancing the ball back up around and across the 25-yard line. And so this will bring up the Trojans' 6th possession of play. Here in the first half, 5:14 remaining. The Trojans leading by 7. 1st and 10, Trojans from their own 26-yard line.
First down on this. We need a first down to start this series. Don't need to worry about going to score. We do need to keep some clock running, go get this first down, and then work from there.
So the Trojans split receiver to the near side, break the huddle, I formation. There's the snap. It's a give to Maddox over the right side of the line. It's going to be a gain of about 2 on the play for the Trojans. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 from their own 28-yard line.
Let's see if we can do something here to threaten them a little bit. Once again, threatening them on the edge would not be a bad idea. Some kind of toss, something to get outside. Powering them up in there. They've got a lot of bodies in there close.
So they break the offensive huddle, split receiver far side, I formation. Gordon with the snap. Rose to this near side. He's looking for room. Counters back. He's going to advance the ball up near the 30-yard line before being brought down. A gain of about 2 more on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and long 6 for the Trojans at their 30-yard line.
It's a big play right here. Trinity needs to find a way to convert this. see if they can keep possession. Don't give North Crowley, who's got a little bit of momentum right now, the ball back right here before half.
Big third down play here by the Trojan offense. We need a good first here for the momentum. Shotgun formation, trips to the far side, single back receiver. Gordon takes a snap. He's looking. He's got a man downfield. He's wide open. Here's the pass. Oh! Through the hands of the receiver, falling incomplete for the Trojans.
That's a good ball. Got to make that one.
And so that's going to bring up a 4th and 6 for the Trojans from their own 30-yard line. And they will bring on the special teams unit to punt the ball away. 3:53 remaining here in the first half of play.
Defense being called on right here to get a stop. Nothing silly, no penalties. Make them work the field. Make them do it themselves. Don't help them. And see if we can give them a stop before halftime. Regroup, have a chance to come out second half with the ball, go get something on the board.
Cotner with the snap. Gets the punt away. It's a knuckleball. The returner with the fair catch. And so the
My heavens.
The Panthers will take over possession. This will be their 7th possession of play.
That's pitiful.
Here in the first half, and we have a dead ball
Once
flag
again,
on the turf.
Trinity was pulled to the ground, pulled themselves away, and as they pulled themselves away, they pushed themselves away, and the referee just waiting for us to extend our arms and threw the flag. And I know that it sounds a lot of times like I'm on the officials, but good grief, you're getting paid. Do your job, and they're not. And this is just horrific.
So a lot of conversation on the turf here by the officiating crew and the coaches.
Mike, if you're listening, this crew doesn't need to work anymore for you.
So here's the call by the official. Holding being charged to the Panthers. Personal foul being charged to the Trojans. Those two penalties will offset. The flags will be picked up, and we will resume the 7th possession of play here for the Panthers.
Okay, there were 3 penalties on that.
I missed one.
There was a hold and there was offsetting personal foul. So the hold was called. It was walked off. The personal foul is offset. So they enforced the hold. So that helps Trinity a little bit. The ball's back on the 29-yard line. The first conversation I'd have at halftime is get my guys together and say, look, they're trying to bait you.
Right.
Show some maturity here.
Sure.
Just get off the field. Leave it to them to make a mistake.
So the Panthers, twins to the near side, shotgun formation. They take the snap. They find the slot receiver. He pulls the pass in, making an athletic move to the inside, and he will advance the ball out to the Panther 46-yard line. That'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Panther first down.
I wish we had a replay because it really looked like they were blocking downfield as the pass was made.
1st and 10 for the Panthers. Shotgun formation, trips to the far side. He drops back, finds the slot receiver again, and he's hit after pulling the ball in, but not until after a gain of 8 on the play. The Panthers moving quickly. 2nd and 2 from the Trojan 46-yard line. Shotgun formation. Here's the snap. Trips to the near side. He gives the ball off to his running back. Still on his feet. He's going to advance the ball deeper into Trojan territory. Finally brought down, but that's going to be sufficient enough yardage for a Panther first down.
Moving quickly, using the clock well, still have their timeouts.
1st and 10, Panthers from the Trojan 41-yard line. 3 minutes, just a little over 3 minutes remaining in the first half of play. Shotgun formation. The quarterback calling his own number. He's got the quarterback. He's wrapped up by the Trojan defense and then finally dragged down. And it'll be a huge loss for the Panthers.
Okay, get back to the line of scrimmage, guys. Quit celebrating. Do your job. That's what we pay you for. They're going to spot him all the way up at the 49.
Where he was in the grasp.
Okay. I don't know about that, but whatever you say.
Just trying to think like they're thinking is the best I can do here. It's going to be a loss of
so are you doing that thinking with your right eye shut and your left eye looking away?
That's it. You got it. That's the country perspective as far south as we are tonight. 2nd and long for the Panthers. They look and find their outside receiver. That pass is pulled in. It's going to be a gain of about 4 on the play. They're going to advance the ball into Trojan territory here. It's going to be 3rd and looks like a 3 for the Panthers.
13 Third
I'm
and
sorry.
13.
3rd and 13. Thank you.
That's
looking
big.
Looking at the wrong
Yeah,
flag.
I know, and that's good.
Yeah.
3rd and 13 is a lot better sounding for
That's
us right
right.
now.
So 3rd and 13 for the Panthers here from the Trojan 44. Shotgun formation.
Should be
Here's
a penalty.
the snap.
They're not going to call it. They
Trips
reset.
to the near side. Here's the snap. He drops back. He's looking. He finds a receiver. There's the throw.
Ooh.
Oh, and that ball in and out of the hands of one of our defensive backs, falling incomplete for the Panthers. So now that will bring up a 4th and 13, and I believe we could probably gamble here that the Panthers will take this and go for it.
Nope, not on 4th and 13. They
Don't
don't want to
think-
give the ball to Trinity with 1:39 and all 3 timeouts at midfield.
Well, they're going to give it to them one way or the other because it looks like they're bringing in their special teams here, Coach Jay, to
For-
punt that ball away.
Force a long field, make it difficult. Don't give Trinity a chance with the weapons that Trinity has to get a quick score again. Right before half, knowing Trinity gets the ball, play the right odds, punt the ball away. Let your defense play.
So whistles blown by the near side official. That's going to be a timeout being charged to the Panther special teams. That's going to give Trinity an opportunity to talk this over right here. We're going to be inside the 2-minute mark, and this will be a good time for a 2-minute drill. We'll see what the Trojans have as we prepare for the Panthers to punt it away here. Not to count, we have the special teams and a possible return.
Well, if we could get one, that would be really good. Now, I don't want to make predictions, but if I was to predict, Trinity will probably start this series with some kind of draw, and depending on how that goes will depend on whether they try to hurry up from that point forward or whether they just kind of sit back, get to the halftime, and regroup, get ready for the second half. So let's see. Not that I've been around this before, but let's see if that's how it goes.
So both teams take back to the field. The Panthers in punt formation. Number 2, Ollie Gordon, back deep for the Trojans. The ball setting on the Trojan 44-yard line. Here's the snap. The punt is away. It's a nice, high, tight spiral, and that ball is going to hit and bounce in and through the end zone and will be a touchback for the Trojans.
That's a good punt. I saw him pregame punting. He didn't look like that.
Did not look like that when you and I were watching
That
warm-ups,
was not
did it?
anything like that.
So 1:32 remaining in the first half of play here at Panther Stadium as the Trojans are going to take over their 7th possession of play. Plenty of time on the clock. 2-minute drill coming up for the Trojan offense. 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line.
See what we do this first play. Come out under center.
Split receiver to the far side. Trojans break the offensive huddle. Under center, lone back. Here's the snap. It's a give. He's up the middle. Advances the ball out to the 25-yard line. Gain of 5 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Trojans.
I think it's going to be the conservative approach here. Just get into the halftime. No hurry right now. Letting the clock run. Wasted possession.
So the Trojans on their 7th possession. Just a little over 1 minute to play here in the first half, leading the Panthers 14-7 here at Panther Stadium.
Goodness.
Split receiver to the far side. They break the offensive huddle, lone back. Gordon under center. Here's the snap. He takes, it's a give over the left side, then he bounces to the outside. He's to the 30. He breaks away, and then a toe tripper by the Panthers before he gets away, but that's going to be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
Kind of got it out of our shadow. Be nice to pick it up a little bit. Got 3 timeouts.
40 seconds remaining on the clock here at Panther Stadium. 1st and 10, Trojans from their own 35-yard line. Twins to the near side. They break the offensive huddle. I formation. Gordon under center. Here's the snap. He fakes the give. He's looking for the receiver. He tucks the ball. Away is the ball. Back comes the receiver. That ball's going to be caught and pulled in, and he's going to advance the ball down to and inside the Trojan, inside the Panther 20, down to the Panther 18-yard line.
Now, let's think about all the time that Trinity let walk off the clock because they were being ultra-conservative. Now we're with 13 seconds left. We're on the 20-yard line. So you just wonder sometimes.
So great opportunity by Gordon to extend the play. Not the very best ball we've seen leave his hand, but a great job by the receiver coming back and pulling that ball in for a big gain for the Trojans. And we have a timeout here on the field at Panther Stadium.
We got 2 plays. We have timeouts. We have a good field goal kicker. So coming out of this with points would be a great opportunity again getting the ball to start the second half. It'd be a deflator a little bit for North Crowley. North Crowley's played well since all the way through the second quarter.
Right. Yes, they have had a nice second quarter of play. Trojan defense, I think we could agree that
I would say defensively they're stopping them if we can just avoid some penalties.
I agree.
I think the run has not been a major problem. They got a few passes right there in their 2-minute drill. Then we got a big sack. We forced a bad pass. So defense is playing really, really well.
So the offense on the field, they break the offensive huddle, lone back, tight formation. Gordon under center. Here's the snap. He fakes. He's looking. He scrambles to the far side.
There.
He's got plenty of grass. There's a block. He's going to be in for a Trojan touchdown.
With 3 seconds. I was getting a little nervous. That's a lot of time used up on the clock.
3 seconds remaining on the clock.
That's a big play.
Gordon calls his own number on the quarterback keeper and takes it to the house. And the Trojans deflating the Panthers and extending their lead. Now 20-7 with 3 seconds prior to halftime festivities.
That was we said earlier, you can't put pressure on quarterbacks that got some speed. North Crowley kind of got hung up inside. They lost their outside contain. And Trinity was able to take full advantage of that. When you got a back like Golly back there, you got a quarterback that can move around a little bit. Really nice play.
So the Trojan special teams come on, and Cotner with the point after attempt. That ball is up and good. So the Trojans extending their lead by 14 with 3 seconds remaining on the clock. The Trojans 21, the Panthers 7. And just as we said, when we were, a minute and 30 seconds, whatever it was on the clock, and we said, we have the opportunity. Which way will we go? We mixed it up a little bit.
Great clock management. Took it right down to 3 seconds. They knew exactly what they were doing.
Put the ball
Never
in
a doubt.
the end zone.
Never a doubt.
So, and here we are. And like we said, here we are with a score, extending the lead. Now we go into halftime. We regroup. We get another game plan for the second half, and we come out with the ball.
Yeah, the first series of the second half will be very telling. Assuming we don't give up something silly right here, to have a 14-point lead and a chance to go with the ball first, go down the field and open it up a little bit. And then it becomes a possession game, because in Trinity, when you're playing Trinity, there's just not a lot of possessions per half. You go up by 3 possessions, you kind of put a little bit of pressure on the offense of the opponent to have to score every time.
So Cotner tees up the football. Here's the kick. That ball is going to be a rugby style kicked ball, and that's going to be fielded.
1 second. They have one play. Let's see what they do.
The Panthers will take over their 8th possession of play here in the first half. It'll be 1st and 10 Panthers from their own 30-yard line with 1 second on the clock.
Oh, my. Jake is showing me a score. Poor Waco. Waco got pulled up into the district with DeSoto and Duncanville and all those guys. They get to play DeSoto tonight. It's 51-0.
And that's at half, isn't it?
Yeah.
My goodness gracious. We know about playing a few of those young people. And so
looks like Trinity called timeout. Some kind of prevent defense. They're going to back up. Try to make sure they tackle. Again, sometimes hard to tackle these guys. They're quick. They move around. See if we see something special, super lateral, something like that from the offense, or if they're going to be a little bit more conservative, get into halftime and have some conversation.
We do want to encourage all of our viewers to stick around here for our halftime activities, as our band will momentarily take the field.
I just saw that the Oklahoma State running back coach is over on the Trinity sideline. Here to see Ollie Gordon. I bet every time he sees him run around, he gets a little bit happier.
So the Panthers take possession, and they need that ball to take the second off the clock. And so we're at halftime here at Panther Stadium on the campus of North Crowley High School in Crowley, Texas, as momentarily the Trojan High School Marching Band and the award-winning Trinity Troyans will take the field. We invite you to stay tuned to view and listen in on our halftime festivities. And Coach Jay and I will be back with hopefully some statistics and other points as we will prepare for our second half of play following the Trinity halftime special. Stay tuned.
Who caught that pass? Was it 18 or 19?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we invite you to sit back and enjoy the Trian's performance. If you'll start dance to Get It Still. images on the survey in the car. Cody Hawkins, Nicholas King, Zoe Nolly, and Patrick Belwell. Section week is the telephone section. Thanks to the week is Grant Connor. We're joined tonight with Band Number 4, part of their 2021 Fall Marching Show Converge. Music selections include Luminous and Unstoppable by Alessandra Jasmine, Converge by Stephen Pinto, Life of Death by John Long, and Excavated by Jack Stamp. The foot soloist is Daniel Gamble. The swing solo is Colombo Cabana. And the English horn solo is Euless Trinity. Now we invite you to sit back and enjoy the sound of Converge.
Where's the hot spot? Right here. I'm not trying to make a fancy little Excel sheet with the stats and screenshot it. Post some pictures of the office.
Well, welcome back, football fans, to Panther Stadium here at North Crowley High School in Crowley, Texas. As you have just seen and heard, the award-winning Troy Ann's of Trinity High School, followed by the Trinity High School Marching Band. The band will be competing tomorrow in the DFW Bands of America. And so as you view through the second half of this game, if you see them exit early this evening, that will be because they have a early call to the stadium and school, and so members are reporting, I believe, at 5:30 a.m., which I would assume means that they may be one of the first bands to actually march and compete in the Bands of America competition. And that competition is going to be held at our own stadium in the Hurst-Euless Bedford School District at Pennington Field. And so if you're interested, you might check into a little bit more in regards to the Bands of America, DFW, and check out times to hear some great performances by some outstanding bands, as you just witnessed here on the Trinity Sports Network broadcast. So as the Panther dance team and bands take the field, we're going to pause at this moment, and at this time I'm going to turn it over to Coach Jay, I think, who has some current statistics regarding our play in the first half.
Yeah, and we need to say thanks to the Dallas Morning News. They kind of keep us alive on this stuff, and I appreciate them sharing with us. First half, it's going to sound a lot. You're going to wonder why the score is what it is when we talk about these. First downs, first half, Trinity has 10, North Crowley has 6. Total yards, Trinity with 239, North Crowley with 46. And I don't know if you remember at the start of the game, this is a team that's been averaging over 400 yards a game.
Exactly.
Passing, Trinity has 46 yards on that one nice reception by Nasir Allah, and North Crowley has 62 on 4 of 8 attempts. North Crowley does have one turnover on the interception and should have had a fumble that we recovered that just got through our hands.
Right.
Rushing attempts, Trinity has 21 attempts for 193 yards. This is the interesting one. North Crowley has 19 attempts for negative 16 yards. A lot of backwards.
Yes.
And have done a really good job containing the quarterback. The injury early, I don't know how much that's affecting him. But he has not been as dynamic as we thought he might be. Penalties, and I don't necessarily know how this works. I know we've seen more flags than this, but it says 4 for 35 against Trinity and 3 for 40 against North Crowley.
Seems like that's a little shy of what we believe we witnessed, but we have had several calls that have been offsetting penalties.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of those. And a lot of times when we get penalties, I kind of feel it'd be a little bit offsetting.
Sure.
Sorry. If you look at the individual stats, Ollie's 1 for 3 for 46 yards on that one completion, and that was to Nasir Allah's a big catch. Good to see him getting involved. The coaches think really highly of him. Rushing the ball, Gordon has 11 attempts for 141 yards. That's 12.8 a carry and 3 touchdowns. They've really done a pretty good job keeping him hemmed up,
right,
except for some big run plays that he's gotten loose, and I think that's how he got the 3 touchdowns. Gary Maddox has 9 carries for 52 yards, 5.8 yards a carry. That's big. If you can get your tailback 5 to 6 yards a carry, we talk about staying ahead of the chains and just keeping it where you can work down the field. That's a really good stat. Buddy Leota's gotten a carry, but they were ready for it. 1 for 0. Quentin Jackson is 3 for 7 for 51 yards. Anthony Farrell, who came in for him, was 1 for 1 for 11. Quentin Jackson did have an interception to Jacob Schaefer. DeJuan Lacey, who is their running back number 5, has 10 carries for 21 yards and a touchdown. Tristan White has 1 carry for 1 yard. Quentin Jackson, who has been just eating people up, has 6 carries for minus 14 yards.
Right.
And when Anthony Farrell was in his place, 2 carries for minus 24 yards. So the game score and the numbers that we see don't necessarily match up. It just kind of goes to show that unfortunate penalties at a bad time, can lead to bad things. That drive that was 25 yards of penalties one pass that on a third down that they got loose, and that was pretty much their entire offense in the first half.
Right.
Second half, and again, the first conversation I'm having, if I'm the guy in there talking to them, I'm bringing the entire team in before we split into offense and defense, and I'm saying, don't let them bait you.
Right.
They're getting frustrated. They're a physical team. They saw it last night, some on the JV. It's getting really, really physical for them, and don't get baited into some bad penalties. And then I'm going to break them up and talk about, if I'm the defensive coaches, I'm patting the kids on the back. I'm saying, we're doing a great job. Don't let your foot off the gas.
Right.
Let's keep them under control. We can't expect a team that averages 400 yards a game to be held in check the way we held them in check the first half, which means the offense needs to do their part.
Right.
They need to control the ball. They need to work down the field. I'd love to see some play action early in the series, see if we can get some of those receivers open, because they're at 7 yards and running downhill, and they're going to do everything they can to get get us in behind the chains, force us to run, pass when they want us to pass. So we need to pass when we want to pass. It'll be interesting to see how the second half goes.
Well, and we're excited about the second half just because we've said this before. We get the ball when we come out here for the second half and are looking forward to having that possession and taking that ball down the field and hopefully not only advancing the ball but also expanding the score. 2 minutes remaining on the clock here at halftime. Our band took quite a bit of the halftime as they're preparing for their Bands of America performance. And so the Panther Band just now taking on their festivities here. And
Our guys were a little long. That setup took a second.
Yes.
If y'all hear during the game some sudden muffled cheering, loud noises, we are right next to the coaches that are working tonight, our offensive, defensive coaches up in the box,
Yes.
without a door between us.
That's correct.
And we're right next to an elevator, so at any time, Damon and I may just leave.
Yes.
We can just hop on and be gone. Just leave it up here with Jake and Barry. We'd be good.
That's it. That's it. And so both of the teams have returned to the field, and they are warming up in the north end zone as the Panther Band continues their performance and festivities. As we do that, let's break for just a moment and look at our Trinity Sports Week at a Glance, October 9th through the 15th, this upcoming week. In girls volleyball on Friday, October 12th, the ladies travel across town for a district game against the Pioneers of Boswell in their main gym. The JV will tip off at 5:30 and the varsity at 6:30. On Tuesday, I believe that's a misprint on my part. In men's and ladies cross country, the men's and ladies cross country team will travel west to Haltom to compete in the District 3 6A meet on Friday, October 15th at the Buff. Start times, varsity girls will be at 9, varsity boys will be at 9:30. The JV will begin running at 10, and then I believe the boys will close it up at a 10:30 start time. So best of luck to coaches Brent Gillum and Jenny McKinney and all the long-distance runners who will be competing in the District 3 6-8 meet on Friday, October 15th over in Haltom at the Buff. I believe there's no action this upcoming week for our men's and ladies tennis. And also, I don't believe there's any action this upcoming week for our men's and ladies swimming. I was just received information and notes moments ago that came in. For those of you who are following our Trinity Girls Volleyball, but maybe were unable to travel to Crowley this evening to watch them play, my understanding is that our girls won 3-1 over the Panthers of North Crowley. And so the Trojans continue their winning ways as they continue to advance through district play. I believe their record, as Jacob is feeding me statistics, currently in district is a 5-3, 6, 6-3. Okay. 6 wins and 3 losses. And so best of luck to Mia Lange, Zuela Adam, and T. Lange as we direct our focus back to the field of play, and the Trojans of Trinity High return to the field as we prepare for our second half kickoff here at Panther Stadium. So as we pause for just a moment, we wait for both teams to prepare for the kickoff. A reminder that the Trojans will be receiving the ball here in the second half of play. So I'm directing my attention at this point in time to one of my apps that I have. Headed to our 6A conference, Region 1, District 3. And as I'm looking at it, of course, here at Panther Stadium, the Trojans leading the Panthers 21-7. In other action, we have a game played, I believe, yesterday, where the Kangaroos of Weatherford upset the Panthers of Pascal. That game 54-27.
Sounds like they jumped all over them. Kangaroos.
Yeah, they did. Maybe bounced on them or pounced on them just a little bit.
Bounced on them, that's good.
And so in other action, the Pioneers of Boswell in the third quarter of play. Looks like 7 minutes remaining in that game. They're playing at Chisholm Trail. And it looks like the Pioneers 42 and the Rangers 6.
Rangers get to play Trinity next week.
And then I believe at Pennington Field tonight, with just a little over 2.5 remaining in the fourth quarter of play, we've got the Buffaloes of Haltom leading the LD Bell Blue Raiders 10-3.
Barn burner. It's going to be close.
So as we direct our attention back to the field of play, number 43 teeing the ball up for the Panthers. The ball is up. It's going to be a short kick. It's going to be fair caught and
Smart
fielded
play
by the Trojan special teams.
Good, smart play. They tried to just get a ball over the line on the ground. That was a nice job of fielding it right there. We get the ball on the 33. That's like gaining an extra first down. So good job by Hector Valdez on that one.
So the Trojans take over their first possession of play here in the second half. If you're just joining us for the second half of play, the Trojans leading the Panthers 21-7. So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Trojans from their own 34-yard line.
It's a good defensive team. Trinity's moved the ball some, but it's been a chore. Still at 7 yards, still working downhill.
So the Trojans take the snap. They hand the ball off to number 3. He's across the 40. Going to advance the ball out to the Trojan 45-yard line.
It's a really good run by Gary on that. I think that may have been a called cutback, and that was a really nice job of staying with the line, getting back to the opposite side. The offensive line's doing a good job staying on their blocks, working them upfield.
So it's going to be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down. 1st and 10 from their own 45-yard line. They're breaking the offensive huddle, split receivers to each side. Quarterback under center, lone back. Here's the snap. It's a quarterback keeper. He's up the middle off to the right guard, and it's going to be a good push. A gain of 8 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 2 for the Trojans as they enter Panther territory from the Panther 47-yard line.
The defensive line has really been chasing pullers. They're really working really hard to get our pullers knocked down, get them on the ground. That time Trinity blocked to the outside with both guards. Both defensive tackles jumped with them and left all the 8 yards up the gut and pretty much untouched.
So 2nd and 2 Trojans from the Panther 47-yard line. Split receiver to the far side. We break the offensive huddle. Gordon under center, I formation. Here's the snap. It's going to be a give to Maddox over the right side, and he bounces through, knifes his way across through the 40. He's going to advance the ball down what looks to be near the 39-yard line. Again, sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
They're digging around at the bottom of that pile. Okay. You get hung up in there, they start stripping that ball away, stripping at you. It gets a little nerve-wracking. Got to make sure you know when it's over and try to get down, and then it's not always safe at the bottom of a pile. Some people don't understand all the fun things that happen down yonder.
Trojans break the offensive huddle. Lone back, split receiver to the near side, takes a snap, hands the ball off over the right tackle. Gain of 4 on the play for the Trojans. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 6 from the Panther 35-yard line.
Gary's doing a really good job to start this quarter, running the ball, staying up in the hole, really just pounding away 4, 5, 6 yards at a time, get that 8-yarder, keep ahead of the chains so you can stay on your script, stay on schedule. Helps the offensive coordinator out a whole lot.
So 2nd and 6 for the Trojans as they continue to pound the rock here, eating up yardage and clock here in the 3rd quarter of play. I formation, split receiver to the far side. Gordon under center. Here's the handoff. He's going to bounce it to the outside. He's to the 30. He's going to turn the corner, then cut back inside. 25 to 20, and he's finally going to be taken out of bounds just prior to the 20-yard line. But once again, sufficient enough yardage on the next first down for another Trojan first down.
Gary stayed down on that one. I'm not sure exactly what happened. We'll see what kind of adjustments Trinity makes. Last week, without Gary, that was a signal that we brought Cade in at quarterback and moved Ollie back to tailback. Let's see if what the adjustment's going to be this week.
So official timeout on the turf for an injured player here on the near sidelines. With the timeout, let's pause for our 3rd quarter senior offensive spotlight. This 3rd quarter offensive senior spotlight is sponsored by our baseball teams, coached by Will Averett and Dave Everett, and our softball teams, coached by Lamar Kirk and Bobby Parsons. This spotlight features Jamaro Wallace. Jamaro, number 47, a 5'11", 171-pound wide receiver. When talking with Jamaro, he stated that he desires to enroll into the armed forces, preferably to serve in the Air Force, to major in fire safety, and then later on in life to pursue a career as a firefighter. So best of luck to Jamaro, not only in tonight's game, but through his senior year, and then as he serves our country proudly through the armed forces, and then serves his community proudly as a future career in firefighting.
Okay, so as we thought, Cade has come in at quarterback. Ollie is moving back to tailback. How'd you like to be the defense? Hey, starting tailbacks down. No!
You just thought that was the starting tailback.
That's not a good thing.
So the Trojans break the offensive huddle. Bartholomew under center, takes the snap, hands the ball off to Gordon. Gordon two-stepping. He's dancing out to the far side. It'll be a gain of about 2 before being brought down.
That's a really good tackle. Nice job. This is a good defensive team that we're playing. It's the best defensive team we've seen probably since Colleyville Heritage. Colleyville Heritage, really well thought of. Right now, Trinity's offense is doing a great job. It's exactly what they needed to start this half.
So a 2nd and 8 for the Trojans from inside the Panther 20-yard line. Just a little over 9 minutes remaining here in the 3rd quarter of play. Trojans breaking the offensive huddle, split receiver near side, I formation. Bartholomew under center, takes a snap, hands it off to Gordon. Gordon tiptoes now over the left tackle. Be a gain of a couple more. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about 6 for the Trojans.
Ooh.
From near the Panther.
Center lost his helmet. As a coach, I know you don't want to give up on your timeouts, but with the importance of the exchange, I might use a timeout here so that center can come back in. That's especially down here close. That's a big deal.
So 3rd and 7 will be the actual placement of the football from the Panther 18-yard line.
Gonna have to use a timeout here anyway. All right, so let's see if we can get our center back into the game after this.
Indication on the field of play, a timeout going to be taken by the Trojan offense. So as we pause here for a Trojan timeout, let's go ahead and do our 3rd quarter defensive senior spotlight. This senior spotlight is being sponsored by our track teams, coached by Jason Dibble and Mia Lange, and our cross-country teams, coached by Brent Gillum and Jenny McKinney. This spotlight features Angel Mestis, number 58, a 6'2", 260-pound defensive lineman. When talking with Angel, Angel stated that he desires to attend at Texas A&M, where he will major in fire safety as well, and plans to pursue his life career as a future firefighter. So best of luck to Angel, not only in tonight's competition, but through his senior year, and then through his college career at Texas A&M, as he will then proudly serve a community as a future firefighter. 8:18 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play. The Trojans up 14. Both teams returning from the Trojan timeout. 3rd and 7 for the Trojans from the Panther 18-yard line.
It's not a bad timeout. You got your center back in. You're down here in scoring territory. Not a bad one to lose on that one.
Split receiver to the near side. Bartholomew still quarterback and drops back. He looks. He's got a wide open, and it's a Trojan touchdown.
Wow, there was nobody. They had 11 guys running forward to come tackle Ollie, and both receivers. He had his choice. That's the hardest throw for a quarterback to throw because if you miss him, it looks really, really bad.
Receivers wide open in the end zone. No one for a mile out here in the country.
My goodness.
And so the special teams comes on. Bartholomew's to hold. Cotner for the point after. Here's the snap. The hold. The attempt. It's up. And on their first possession of play, here the Trojans will extend their lead with 8:12 remaining in the third quarter. The Trojans up by 21 over the Panthers, 28-7.
4-minute drive to start the second half. You finish with a touchdown. And again, as we said earlier, you get 3 possessions ahead in the second half if you're Trinity. From an offensive standpoint for North Crowley, the pressure starts to mount because the number of possessions that you have in a halftime when you're playing Trinity and the way they can control the ball, it starts to get limited.
Right.
And if you give up any more points, you're kind of in trouble. So if Trinity can get 3 and out right here, come back and sustain another drive, put a little bit more pressure, don't have to score but use some more clock. Right now, North Crowley's got to be a little bit nervous about their chances.
Yes, and of course coming out here, as we talked about earlier in the first half of play as it was ending, to be able to come out, have possession of the ball here in the second half and take it down and do exactly what we just did, has to be just somewhat deflating as you extend the lead out and increase the possessions that they will need to try to even get close to catch up or a win this evening.
Right, 14 points without the offense for North Crowley having a chance to come on the field.
So Cotner.
What a kick.
Kicking the ball, it's going to bounce in and through the end zone. That will fall for a Panther touchback. And so the Panthers will take over their first possession of play here in the second half. 1st and 10 Panthers from their own 25-yard line.
That's a really good kick. That's just right where it needed to be.
So the Trojan defense taking the field for the first time here in the second half. Panthers breaking their offensive sideline huddle. Twins to each side. Shotgun formation. Single back. Here's the snap. There's a fake give. They find the slot receiver at the 30-yard line. He's going to advance the ball up close to the down marker.
One of those, what we call an RPO, run pass option. Trinity was off the receiver. Easy throw for the quarterback, quick 10 yards. Moving fast.
Indication it's sufficient enough yardage for a first down. Trips to the near side. Quarterback takes the snap, hands the ball off. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. Drop for no gain. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Panthers from their own 35-yard line.
Lacey's been doing a really good job this year getting yardage, moving the ball. That's a – the defense is just playing great. The defense is having an outstanding game.
Controlling the line of scrimmage,
No
or LOS
kidding.
as we would refer to, moving great laterally from side to side.
You know, even when earlier, if you remember, Nye got that sack after the quarterback had some
Yes.
time and he just came from that second level down all the way down and made a play.
Right. Twins now with a man in motion to each side. Shotgun formation, single back. Here's the snap. He's dropping back. He's looking. He's got pressure, and he's going to be sacked and brought down by that Trojan defense.
That would be Nye Mose again. Nye off that edge can really play. I think I saw where Nye had a offer from Sam Houston State this last week or since the Bell game, and Sam Houston State's getting a steal if they've actually done that. That is a playing machine. He's only been at Trinity since about 2003. I think he's been here since I've been here. He's been playing forever. One of the odd freshman starters at
Yes.
Trinity High School.
Right. So a big loss by the Panthers. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 18 for the Panthers from their own 27-yard line. Twins to each side. Shotgun formation. Actually, it's trips to the far side. They find the slot receiver. He pulls the pass in. It's going to be a gain of 4 on the play.
What a great job. And if you're watching at home, you may not have seen this. you tell defensive linemen, if suddenly you've become the best rusher in the history of football, stop and retreat because a screen's coming.
Right.
And there were 3 defensive linemen just then for Trinity that you saw take 2 steps, realize what was happening, and start looking for guys. And that's why that was a tunnel screen where they're trying to work back through the middle, and there was no middle. That was a great job on the defensive front, well coached.
So the Panther special team is on. Pressure is given. That ball winds up taking a Trojan bounce, and the Panthers are going to kill that, and the Trojans are going to take over possession down around the Panther 31-yard line.
Great opportunity. Ball got through the punter's hands. He got all the way into his chest. He panicked a little bit, didn't get the ball extended. Was afraid it might get blocked because Trinity has been putting pressure previously.
So this is going to bring up the Trojans' second possession of play here in the second half. It's going to be 1st and 10 Trojans from the Panther 31-yard line. And right here, this could be that nail, so to speak, in the coffin. If the Trojans maintain possession,
take a couple minutes off here, right?
Sure.
Don't get in a hurry.
Kate Bartholomew under center. I formation. Gordon with the pitch, looking for the – oh, my goodness.
It's another touchdown.
And a Trojan touchdown.
2 passing touchdowns on consecutive plays. What a great job. Pitch pass.
So the pitch pass from the Trojans. Gordon tosses it up. It's pulled in, and the Trojans will extend their lead by another 6. Special teams on to add 1. And so with 5, just a little under 5.5 remaining in the third quarter of play, the Trojans on the field for the point after. Bartholomew to hold. Cotner for the extra point attempt. Here's the snap. The hold. The ball is up.
Oh, may have missed that one. Oh,
and
snuck
it's
it through.
good.
It's kind of hard to tell from our little angle. That wasn't as pretty as some of the others. What a great call to go ahead and take a great chance right there. The cornerback wanted so badly to play man-to-man, and he saw the pitch, and he just kind of let his feet set because he's going to come tackle Ollie. And Jaquan did a really nice job catching the ball with his hands, finishing it in the end zone. Good job.
A great job by the offense and our offense coordination with our coaching staff. Again, seeing their secondary continuing to creep, and in just the right moment making that call and finding no one in the defensive backfield, and the Trojans putting the ball back in and really deflating this Panther football team, who, as you have said on multiple occasions, has been used to accumulating 400-plus yards in a game.
Right, and really playing good defense as well. And, again, this is a good defensive team. Trinity's executing really well right now offensively, and that execution offensively I think has been sparked by what a great job they've done defensively. One builds on the other. The defense just keeps making stops. They keep pushing them backwards. So this is a pretty well-rounded game right now.
So both special teams on the field. The Panthers with a man deep. Cotner placing that ball, and the return man is going to field that ball in the end zone. He's going to bring it out. He's got a little room, but the special team is going to pull him down around the 15-yard line, where the Panthers will take over their second possession of play. Here in the second half, it's going to be 1st and 10 Panthers from their own 16-yard line.
Colton is putting that ball at that really nervous spot about a yard deep, right at the goal line. They probably should fair catch. They probably should get it at the 25. But, you're a high school kid, and you're catching it right there. You're not quite sure. Just great kicks over and over again.
So the Panthers break their offensive huddle. Twins to the far side. Split receiver to this side.
Ooh. That ball was up in the air. We almost had another one. That's a good ball. It bounced through the receiver's hands.
And dead ball penalty to ensue here. We'll wait for the call by the officials. That pass falls incomplete.
Something was going on in the interior. I didn't see what it was.
So here's the call by our officiating crew.
But they're all walking towards us, so it may not be
personal foul.
No,
unsportsmanlike conduct going to be charged to the Trojan defense. And so they will mark off 15 yards.
Okay, I never understood this. It's 1st and 10. We know it's 10 yards to the chain. Why not just walk 5 more?
Getting his steps in.
I guess
Coach
that's
Jay.
good. There you go. What a great answer. That is answer of the day.
He's got to be getting. We were talking about that earlier, you
yeah.
and me. Okay, so he's obviously.
That's a great call. No,
obviously, you know,
I don't have a response. That was perfect. That was perfect.
That's going to bring up sufficient enough yardage for a Panther first down. It's going to be 1st and 10 Panthers from their own 31-yard line.
Again, nothing silly here.
Yep, Twins to the far side. They take the snap. They hand it off to the running back. I mean, he's hit immediately by that defensive front.
The defensive front is just dominating their offensive line. And if you look at the size of their line,
they're not small.
They're not little bitty
No,
kids.
they're not.
Just a great performance so far.
So it's going to be a loss of what looks to be 2 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 12 for the Panthers from their own 29-yard line. Looks like we've got trips to the near side. Single back, shotgun formation for the Panthers. They've been in and out of this formation many times this evening. Number 10, quarterbacking.
Got a different look for them out here. We got it kind of a little bit tighter up. Don't give the number 3 receiver a chance to catch that ball. Get a good rush off the edge.
Rush is coming from the defense. He's going to look across the middle of the field, but that ball is going to wind up in the turf and fall incomplete, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and long for the Panthers.
What a great job of mixing up your rush. I mean, Coach Tron and staff is having a great night calling their defense. Just a fantastic job of preparation. They just seem to be one step ahead of the North Crowley offense all night long. Just super, super job.
So the Panthers flip the offense, trips to the far side, shotgun formation. Now the running back in motion, flexing to the near side. Here's the snap. Quarterback dropping back. He's looking across the middle. He finds a man, and that ball is going to be
not quite caught.
Oh, I think we got a conversation here, Coach Jay.
They're looking.
Yes,
they called the pick.
Yes,
They said he intercepted.
It's an interception by the Trojans.
Wow.
Oh, but there's could be a dead ball penalty.
No, it's not dead ball.
It's
that
not
came
dead
during
ball?
the.
Did it come? Okay.
It might be hands to the face. They've gotten us for that earlier. Let's see what they call.
Here's the call. No. Holding charge to the Panthers. That's going to be declined, and that's going to go over a Trojan ball on the interception.
I don't know if he intercepted it or not. I don't think even our defense thought they intercepted that one. But we'll take that call.
Yes,
that was
we
a
will.
great hustle play by Mose extending out to make that. Wow. Just wow.
So with the interception, Coach Jay, that's going to bring up now our 3rd possession here in the second half of play. 1st and 10 for the Trojans from the Panther 41. Once again, we can add just a few more nails in that wood right here and possibly be able to call this done, so to speak. A little bit of delay here as the Panther head coach talking with the head official.
He's looking for a video replay. This one would definitely be overturned. He's actually saying, I think he dribbled it.
Right.
You know, North Crowley's really, really good at basketball, and
Yes.
the guy says, hey, seen dribbling before, and that's exactly what we just saw.
I don't know that conversation is going to overrule the called interception here, as I believe they're going to allow the Trojans to maintain possession. Again, this will be their 3rd possession of play. They break the offensive huddle. 1st and 10. Trojans from the Panther 41. Bartholomew under center gives it off to Buddy Leota, the fullback.
Oh, just a step away.
Just another toe-tickling tackle there by the defensive back.
That is a JV special play from all our days running the JV, putting way too many people on the right side and letting the fullback come on a counter back the opposite way.
Gain of 5 on the play for the Trojans.
They got a guy hurt.
They do
need to
have a
look at
young
him.
man hurt. He's holding his head.
Took his helmet off.
Right, so now they've brought in, looks like a substitute.
I don't know if he's hurt or angry.
Trojans breaking the offensive huddle. Split receiver to the near side. I formation. Bartholomew under center. Takes a snap. Hands the ball off to Gordon.
Oh,
Gordon
good play.
advancing the ball closer to the 35.
Good defensive play. Linebacker did a nice job knifing through.
Being tripped up.
See, but what we see right now is the clock running. 4 possession lead. Clock's running. First down right here. We can go ahead. You know, obviously, last time I said this, we scored on a play. But a first down right here is a 2-minute first down. You can run 2
Right.
more minutes off the clock.
Yes.
And possessions become important right here. 4-possession lead. If we can get some more points, make it 5.
Right.
Feel pretty good about it.
3rd and 5, Trojans, I formation. Bartholomew under center, takes a snap, hands the ball off to Gordon. Gordon up the middle, gets tripped up. No gain on the play, and then he's pushed down by the Panthers.
We get flagged for that.
And we have a man down around the 35, and on the field comes the training staff.
Getting out healthy becomes a big deal right now.
Right. So it's no gain on the play. It's going to bring up a 4th and a long 4 for the Trojans from just outside the Panther 35-yard line. One thing we don't want to see with this officiating crew, and for the two teams for that matter, is for this to get out of hand
Right.
In regards to sportsmanship on the turf. And so the athletic trainers working over the offensive lineman down for the Trojans.
Can't tell who that is.
No, not just yet. Waiting
I'm
for.
trying to see the ones that are up, see if we can decipher who might be down. I can't tell. I don't see the center is the one of the phonies, or both the phonies up. I see both of them.
So it's going to look like number.
Oh, it was number 55.
Yes.
So that would be Misi is down, walking a little bit gingerly, but walking. So that's a good sign.
Good sign up and on his own power, making his way off the turf.
You know what I haven't seen in a while? Just a little screen. Just a little a screen to the tailback.
Right.
Just drop it off to him, see what happens. See
So,
what happens.
4th and a long 4 here for the Trojans. The offense stays on the field.
3 receivers wide, spread out a little bit.
Twins to the far side, split receiver near. Bartholomew, shotgun formation. Gordon off to his right. Here's a counter by Gordon. He's across the
Didn't get it.
35 down to possibly the 33, but he's going to be short on 4th down, and the ball will go over to the Panthers on downs.
Ran some clock, and now Ollie's limping a little bit. Looks like maybe a cramp.
Maybe he's just having a conversation there, Coach.
He's always having a conversation.
2:41 remaining in the 3rd quarter of play here at Panther Stadium. The Trojans up by 28 as the Panthers take on their 3rd possession of play here in the 2nd half. It's going to be 1st and 10 Panthers from their own 34-yard line.
That's a big defensive stop for them. That really could have been the nail. They did a really nice job. They give themselves a chance. See if the Trinity defense can respond the way they have all night long.
Twin receivers to the far side, kind of a veer look in the backfield. They take the snap, hand the ball off
Good
to the
strong
running
run.
back. Good run here. Looks like a gain of probably 6 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 4 for the Panthers from their own 40-yard line.
Almost put it on the ground.
Looks like we have another situation where we have a helmet coming unbuckled and off, so our defensive lineman will exit the football field. That'll bring the clock to a stop, not necessarily what you want to see till it's reset and wound by the official. 2nd and 4, Panthers from their own 40-yard line. Clock continuing to tick.
They want a new football.
Conversation here, football exchange. Clock is finally stopped. 2:17 remaining here in the quarter.
They played that one with our football. And that doesn't sound like a thing, but quarterback knows.
Yes.
Not my football.
So Twins to the far side, split receiver this time. They hand the ball off. The Trojans
Wow.
with
Great pursuit.
and they will force that running back out of bounds.
Really, really good job. That was Ola Faka-Iluatonga that was able to get pressure real quick, turned him out to the side, and then just the cavalry came. Just great defense.
Loss of 4 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Panthers from their own 37-yard line. I saw number 23, I believe, the defensive back, hobbling off the field.
Number 11, 17's kind of been their go-to guy on this. See if we see him.
Number 10 drops back. Oh, it's tipped by the defensive back, and it's going to fall incomplete for the Panthers. So that's going to bring up a 4th and 7 for the Panthers from their own 37, and it looks like they will bring on their special teams to punt the ball away.
That's smart. go ahead and try to change the field position, possibly get a turnover, something to get things going for you. But we're about a minute and a half from going to the fourth quarter. We're still 4 possessions. So maybe Trinity can breathe a little bit easier, have some fun here as we get into the fourth quarter.
Number 23 punting the ball away. That ball is going to take a one-hopper, bounce out of bounds, what looks to be down around the Trojan 33-yard line.
Remember we talked about pregame?
We did.
Yeah, that's what we saw.
We did. Yeah, and we didn't. Where was that last punt?
Well, the last punt, remember, was the one that went sideways that came back to the 31. So.
We're talking about the one before that.
Oh, yeah, they had some big punts earlier,
yeah.
But that's more like what we've seen.
Yeah, the last 2 have not been. I mean, they were, like you say, more what we saw in pregame. So the Trojans take over their 4th possession of play here in the second half. It's going to be 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 34-yard line. 1:22 remaining in the third quarter of play.
Looks like Keyshawn Berry has come in at tailback. Different fullback maybe.
Bartholomew under center, I formation, hands the ball off to the fullback. He's going to advance the ball up around the 36-yard line, gain of 2 on the play for the Trojans.
That'd be Manuel Perez. We talked about him being the trap specialist.
Clock continuing to run here in the third quarter. We're down to exactly 1 minute. Trojans 2nd and 8 here from their own 36. Split receiver to the far side. Offense breaks the huddle. Bartholomew under center, I formation. Here's the snap. He pitches the ball out. We're around the far sideline. Turning, squaring up in the field, advances the ball out to the 40-yard line of the Trojans.
Should be able to get to the quarter.
Gain of 4 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 4 for the Trojans.
Don't see Trinity running a play right here. Should be able to make it to the quarter. Don't know that they're in any hurry, although they're coming quickly to the line.
15 seconds here remaining. They do come to the line.
I'd
Twins to the near side. They're looking. It's an I formation. Bartholomew does take the snap, hands the ball off, advances the ball out to the Trojan 42-yard line.
Got to punt this. I think I'd have let the quarter go on that one.
And the quarter does go, and so the clock ticks off and down to 0. It's going to bring up a 4th and 2 for the Trojans from their own 42-yard line, as the officials will take time to flip-flop the field. And while they do so, let's take our quarter break here and do another Trinity Sports shout-out here in the quarter break. This shout-out on behalf of our principal at Trinity High, Mr. Mike Harris. The shout-out is sent to our entire staff in our W building and all of our special education teachers who work with our special populations. Thanks to all of you who are tuning in to our weekly broadcast and enjoying Trojan football. On behalf of Principal Mike Harris, his administration, and all the faculty and staff, we salute our W building staff and personnel for everything that you do, your dedication and your devotion to our students and their families. So from all of us here at the TSN team, thank you for your successful endeavors, support, and most importantly, your desire to help our young people achieve success in life.
Why have we not flipped the quarter?
Called timeout. They replayed 2 seconds on the clock, so we remain in the third quarter play. 4th and 2 here.
Oh, surely we didn't call timeout. Oh, my heavens.
Special teams on the field.
I guess we have the wind right now and wanted to punt with the wind.
Cotner with the snap. Here's the kick. The ball, a knuckleball, is going to be fair caught by the returner. And so the Panthers will take their
4th.
You're right. 4th possession of play as we begin our 4th quarter here at Panther Stadium. The Trojans leading by 28 over the Panthers, 35-7.
Took a long time to get to that 4th quarter. I thought we were in the NBA there for a minute. That last 6 or 7 seconds took forever.
So we are, at this point, flip-flopping the field. The Trojan defense.
Looks like we have some what would be called the let's see, I can't even remember what we called them. The backups. Jake. That's offense. That's also Storm. The Storm defense is on the field.
Storm defense,
We got some
okay.
Storm defensive players out there. They named the squads. The red and black are the offensive and defensive starters. The Chain Gang and the Storm are the offensive and defensive next group up. I see a lot of those guys getting reps, working in and out throughout the game.
So the Panthers on their third possession of play.
That's amazing. If I'm that poor running back, number 5 for North Crowley, every time I get the ball, there's a red shirt standing in front of me. I mean, there's nothing. The defense is just dominating up front.
Correction, that'll be the Panthers' fourth possession. They have the trips look this time to the near side. Shotgun formation. Back offset to the right. Here's the snap. He's going to drop back, looking to pass, finding the slot receiver. That pass is going to be pulled in, but it's going to be automatically downed as the receiver was to his knees. A gain of 4 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 for the Panthers from their own 28-yard line.
See if we can get them off the field again, get the clock moving.
Clock ticking, 11 minutes remaining in the game. Same formation. The Panthers take the snap. They drop back, looking long. He lets it fly, but it's well over the head of both the receiver and the defensive back, falling incomplete for the Panthers, and that will bring up a 4th down, and it looks to be the Panthers' special teams returning to the turf. Number 23. See what kind of punt we get from the Panthers this time.
Got
Coach
the win
Jay.
this time. He may blast one.
Back deep for the Trojans. Number 2, Ollie Gordon.
All right, I'm telling Ollie to fair catch this.
Here's the snap. He gets it away. End over end. It's going to take a Panther bounce.
Good decision. Bad play. Good decision late.
So Ollie will allow that ball to hit the turf and bounce. This is going to bring up the Trojans' 5th possession of play. Here in the second half, it's going to be 1st and 10 Trojans from their own 16-yard line.
See if we have some play action here, if we're going to just go ahead and keep running the ball. Thought for a second they had in the freshman, but looks like he's come out right now. Cade's back in. Must be going under center.
4th quarter, 10:44 remaining in the game. Trojans' 5th possession. Bartholomew under center, takes a snap, hands it off to Gordon.
Just not getting up to that second level. That linebacker's doing a really good job filling downhill. He's made about 3 really good plays in a row for them. It's number 30. Just a nice job.
Gordon advancing the ball back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. Trojans fighting to stay ahead of the chains here. 2nd and 10 from their own 16-yard line.
I know you want the clock to run, but a little play action right here might be a chance to get somebody behind them again. See if you can big play them, flip the field, change the field position at the worst. See what happens. Or we'll run a counter.
Trojans break the offensive huddle. Split receiver near side, lone back. Bartholomew takes the snap, hands the ball off to Gordon. Gordon advances the ball out across the 20-yard line. Gain of maybe 5 on the play. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Trojans from their own 21-yard line. Big down offensively right here for us, Coach Jay, at least in this possession.
Yeah, it'd be nice to get a first down. We've been a little bit stale here starting the 4th quarter, right there at the end of the 3rd. Get a first down, move the chains, see what we come up with.
I formation, twins to the far side. Bartholomew under center. Here's the snap. He takes, he drops back, he looks, he gives to Gordon.
it's a
Gordon
draw.
with a foot race right here to the 30, the 40. He cuts back to the inside across the 45. He's still on his feet to the 50. He eludes another back. There's a, oh my goodness, what a block. He's down to the 20. It's a foot race to the 10. Sticks his arm out, and he's going to be in for another Trojan touchdown.
Oh, my heavens. I thought he was just going to coast out of bounds. I really thought he had gotten the first down. He was going to coast out of bounds, and I see some flags down, so this is going to get called back. But what an incredible run. I don't care if they call it back. I'm putting it on my highlight reel.
A nice job by number 2, Ollie Gordon, taking that and making something out of what almost looked to be nothing there close to the line of scrimmage.
They're going to call an illegal crackback block on that great block that you saw where the receiver turned his back and screened a guy.
Right.
And they're going to call that an illegal block, and that is just not the intent of the rule.
There it is, personal
they
foul.
called tripping.
Tripping is the call against the Trojans.
Dude on that sideline, he has got to get that he must have a hot flag, because every once in a while he just got to get it out of his pocket.
Well, I know he's getting an earful right now by head coach Chris Jensen, who wants a little bit more, I believe, conversation in regards to that flag and who he caught tripping.
In the open field.
Well, and especially away from the play. I mean,
that's just.
So he's not – you can tell by his demeanor and his body action, head coach Chris Jensen is not happy with the conclusion. But that's going to be okay. It's going to be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan. The first down as they reset the ball in the chains.
And
First and 10 Trojans from their own 46-yard line.
And it's a 2-minute play. We're going to be able to run 2 more minutes off the clock. Ollie's got to be tired.
So Bartholomew under center takes a snap, hands it off to Gordon. Gordon just lowers his head and shoulder pads. Gain of about almost 5 on the play right here. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Trojans from right near the midfield stripe. And now we're having another conversation I see with head coach Chris Jensen and the official. I'm not exactly sure if we're talking about a sideline situation, but anyway, there's some conversation going on back here. It's kind of entertaining for us up here in the booth.
Yeah, Coach Tron stepped in now. Coach Jensen's a little busy calling plays. Coach Tron's trying to get an idea of what he called.
So a gain of 5, 2nd and 5. Ball's placed at the Panther 49. I formation. Bartholomew under center takes a snap, pitches it out. Gordon going to tuck it. He's going to run it. Oh, does a little dance right here, a little two-step in action here, and he's going to gain sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
And they're going to call another flag behind the play. I hope they call that dead ball.
So it looks like we're going to have a dead ball penalty. To whom will receive this penalty? We will wait and allow our officiating crew to make that announcement. Looks like we've got multiple flags here on the turf.
They hadn't had anything to do for a few minutes. Just reminding us that they're still here. Got a horse collar. And then we also have a dead ball personal foul on the defense, so we're going to take that one. So they finally had a little bit of conversation going on too much. Thankfully, our guys walked away. I didn't see it, so I didn't see us pushing on anybody, and I didn't see any black shirts going to the ground. So good job by the offense of just getting away. And, again, you got to think about the amount of frustration that must be on North Crowley, because they just watched the guy run 80-some-odd yards, and then they called it back, and he keeps doing it.
So they mark off 15 yards on the penalty charge to the Panther defense. That's going to place the ball inside the 30 as the officials mark the chains. It's going to be 1st and 10 Trojans from the Panther 27. I formation. Bartholomew under center takes a snap, hands it off to his back, who will advance the ball up to the 25-yard line.
That'd
Gain of 2 on the play.
Freshman Ethan Williams getting some tailback snaps. That's good to see.
7:40 remaining as the clock continues to tick here in the 4th quarter of play. The Trojans eating up time and yardage here in the 4th quarter. 2nd and 8 for the Trojans from the Panther 25-yard line.
No hurry. Let the clock work. Good night by Ollie. I hope I don't see him anymore.
Trojans breaking the offensive huddle. Split receiver far side. Man in motion. I formation. Bartholomew under center. Here's the snap. Hands it off to his back. He's around the right side. He's to the 20, the 15. Lowers his head, and he's finally forced out of bounds by the Panthers down near the 15-yard line.
It's a good run.
That'll be sufficient enough yardage for another Trojan first down.
That was a really good burst by Ethan in the hole. Really nice run. Good to see him getting some reps. Good to see him starting to adapt. Again, he's coming as a freshman from Central, so he's really never been a part of our offense. And as the season progresses, it gives him an opportunity to get more and more comfortable with the terminology, with the expectation on the play. So really, really doing a good job. Very excited about what he's going to be for the next few years.
1st and 10, Trojans from the Panther 15, I formation.
Oh, no.
Oh, whistles prior to the snap, indication by the officiating crew, timeout being charged to the Panther defense.
I think Buddy may have had him one that time, too. That's a shame. I think Buddy thought Buddy had him one that time, too.
With that timeout, let's do our 4th quarter senior spotlight. If I can get my page turned here on the clipboard. So the 4th quarter offensive senior spotlight is sponsored by our Trinity Wrestling team. Head coach Travis Clark and assistant coach Anthony Bergamini. This offensive spotlight features Jalen Coverson, number 76, a 6'1", 385-pound center. In talking with Jalen, his plans following graduation, he desires to attend Ohio State University to pursue a career and major in engineering. So best of luck to Jalen, not only through this game this evening in his senior year, but also his endeavors at Ohio State University and his life pursuit career in engineering. So as we return to the field of play, Trojans break the offensive huddle, shotgun formation. A trips look to the left side. Here's a pass out. It's pulled in. He cuts back to the inside, advances across the 10-yard line. Finally pulled out of bounds down near the far down marker. We'll see exactly where the officials spot the ball. And that should bring up a 2nd down for the Trojans.
Some people may not like the fact that Trinity just threw that ball up by 28 late in the 4th, but that's just a long sweep. I mean, that's just an opportunity to get a different person with a touch. I think that was Jaquan made that catch. But that play is just blocked as if you turned and pitched it to the tailback and tried to get him on the perimeter. So very, very good play to get on a 1st down, gained 8 yards.
Split receiver near side. Trojans break the offensive huddle. I formation. Bartholomew takes a snap, hands it off to the back. He's across over the right guard, advancing the ball down inside near the Panthers 7-yard line. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 2 for the Trojans.
That's something the freshman's going to learn as he gets a little bit older, is to let those shoulders roll forward and not take everything on with his chest. He took a pretty good shot right there. One, it's a lot easier on you physically, and the second thing is you're able to secure the ball a lot better. And down here near the goal line, that becomes a big deal. I see Kalen comes in for him. Barry comes in for him right now.
Split receiver far side, I formation. Bartholomew under center takes a snap, hands the ball off to his fullback, who makes a cut. He's going to advance the ball down near the 5. That's going to be real close for a Trojan 1st down.
I don't know who got that flag, but man, howdy, flags for everywhere.
And the officials are separating Panthers and Trojans here on the field. Not a good thing when you're close to a 1st down.
Not on 4th down. May get the field goal team out here instead.
So we're awaiting the call by the officiating crew. Here is the indication.
I saw hats thrown and all sorts of stuff. Let's see if it's offsetting.
So unsportsmanlike penalty being charged, looks like, to both teams. So
that does nothing. I mean, that does nothing. Hey, y'all were mean. Quit it.
Offsetting penalties here on both teams. So the play will stand. Looks like we're going to be 4th and 1 here for the Trojans from the Panthers 6-yard line. Big play here for the 2nd team.
Yeah, I'd like to see Cotner get a chance to kick a field goal right here just for practice.
So 5:22 with the clock ticking, remaining here in the 4th quarter of play at Panther Stadium. Trojans up by 28.
Something pounding up in there. You know they're all going to be diving down close. Let's see what happens here.
Split receiver, I formation. Bartholomew with the snap. Fakes the handoff. Rose finds a wide open back, and he is going to be blown down. Going to be blown down just outside the goal line.
Hey, and that's great. Clock keeps moving. We're on the 1 yard line. Get to run off some extra time.
So 1st and goal, Trojans from the Panther 1. The clock continuing to roll now, under 5 minutes to play here in the 4th quarter. Trojans knocking on the door once again.
Come in. Let's see if we let this clock run way down before we snap it. We got 30 seconds. We could work it all the way down, almost under 4 minutes, under 4.5 minutes for sure.
So a conversation being had by head coach Chris Jensen and the quarterback, Cade Bartholomew, split receiver to the far side.
Cade does a really good job understanding the 4-minute game, slowing things down, not getting in a hurry.
Bartholomew calling his own number on the quarterback keeper, and we have flags, indication by the officiating crew, touchdown Trojans.
I think Cade fell down.
So we'll await to see exactly. I believe that may have been a defensive offsides. I'm not sure the defensive lineman got back on.
No, they were in the neutral zone, I think. I saw the flag. Let's see what they say here.
Here's the call by the officiating crew, and it is going to be offsides charged to the defense. That is going to be declined.
Did they call it a touchdown?
No, he did not signal touchdown. I was waiting.
Somebody over here on this side called it a touchdown. I really think Cade went down before he got in.
Right.
So if that's the case, I'd take the penalty. So should still be 1st down.
So with the defensive offsides, yes, he's indicating 1st down. So Trojans take the penalty. It'll be 1st and goal Trojans from just outside the Panther goal line.
That's a break for Cade because that would really mess up his average rush.
So split receiver to the far side. Trojans break the huddle. Bartholomew under center. Here's the snap. He calls his own number once again, and a big push by the Trojans, and they're in for another Trojan touchdown.
We really got to find out what happened on that last play because I don't know. Somebody stepped on his toe maybe. That was a good push by the offensive line. Good job by the chain group, the amount of chain kids that were in. There weren't a ton of them, but they really worked the ball down the field. The freshman got some snaps. Cade ran the offense well. Got a good pass out to the outside. Got a different holder coming in, different kicker. So
we've got a point after the hold by number 8, the attempt by number 65.
That would be Francisco Maldonado.
So Francisco here lining up for the attempt here on the point after. Here's the hold by number 8. The ball is up.
Oh, good kick.
And it's good. So with 3:58 remaining in the game here at Panther Stadium, the Trojans extending their lead now 42-7 over the Panthers.
Looks like there's a final over at Pennington. The Halton Buffaloes hold off the Belle Blue Raiders 10-3.
10-3.
That was an offensive showing over at Pennington.
My goodness gracious. And we will get to see Haltom in just a couple of weeks as they, I believe, will make their travels to Pennington Field. More on that in weeks to come. Let's pause just a moment for our final senior spotlight this evening. This 4th quarter defensive spotlight is sponsored by our soccer teams, head coaches Tracy Duran and Carlos Quintanilla, and assistant coaches Patty Callahan, Trent Abbott, and David Capps. This defensive spotlight features Paige Harris, number 70, a 6'1", 230-pound defensive lineman. In talking with Paige, his plans following graduation, he desires to enroll into the armed services, preferably into the Air Force, and his plan is to pursue and major in the medical field.
Cool.
So best of luck to Paige through the remainder of his senior season, senior year, and into his service in the armed forces, and then later serving a community with his medical field. Flags flying on the turf as the special teams first.
That's a really good job. They got out to the 30, but hemmed that off pretty well. Forced a block in the back. I think we'd have made that tackle a little bit sooner, but good job of coverage by the special teams.
Flags on the turf. The officials conferencing at the Panther 30-yard line. We're awaiting the call. 3:45 remaining in the game. The Trojans up by 35 over the Panthers. Here 42-7. Indication by the officiating crew. Personal foul going to be charged to the Panther special teams.
Damon, I'd have to say this is the best we've seen the Trinity defense play this year.
Yes,
They
I
have
agree.
been exceptional. This is a very athletic team that they're playing. They've put up a lot of yards, and I think the fact that North Crowley has got a lot of positive publicity about what a challenge this game would be, and we saw a little bit more directed focus from our defense, and it's been quite a game for them. They did a super job.
So the Panthers breaking the sideline offensive huddle. Twins to the near side. Split receiver far. Shotgun formation. Lone back. Here's the snap. Quarterback takes it. Hands it off to the running back. We've seen this play a few times from scrimmage.
It'll be real interesting to see if they got to positive rush yards because they had a couple big sacks in there. Trinity may have held them to negative yardage.
Gain of 2 on the play for the Panthers. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 8 for them from their own 17-yard line.
Still appears to have all their starters in.
Different look here, formation. Twins to the near side, split to the far. Shotgun formation. Here's the snap. Quarterback takes. It's a give to the running back once again. He's hit near the line of scrimmage, and I believe that'll be no gain on the play. 3 minutes as the clock continues to tick here at Panther Stadium. Have to wonder if maybe they're just running time off the clock at this point.
Got a late flag. I don't know what they called. Barry, did Trinity do something silly?
Here's the call by our officiating crew. Dead ball and sportsmanlike conduct going to be charged to the Trojan defense.
And both teams. Hey, hadn't seen that before.
And to the Panthers. Once again, that's going to be offsetting penalties. So the play will stand. It'll bring up 3rd and 8 for the Panthers from their own 17-yard line. Trip formation to the far side. Now we have a man in motion, so it's going to be twins to the far side. Split receiver near. Shotgun formation. Here's the snap. He takes it. He drops back. He's looking to the near side, finding the receiver. It's caught. And he's going to be tackled and brought down just beyond the 30-yard line. That'll be sufficient enough yardage for a Panther first down.
Real close to an interception. That's a good break on the ball, just not quite there. It's a good ball out. And again, number 11 for North Crowley's well thought of receiver, and he's been held up Malik Moore all evening. First time I've really seen him make a catch out there.
So the Panthers once again on first down. Similar set formation. Take the snap, hand the ball off to the running back. It's going to be a gain of 3 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 7 for the Panthers from their own 34-yard line.
As Elijah Lewis, the linebacker, nice job, kept his feet hot, didn't take the fake, made a solid tackles, good defensive play.
Panthers, the 5th possession, in no hurry here at Panther Stadium. The clock ticking down to 2 minutes here in the 4th quarter.
Trinity's trying to get some subs in, and it looks like somebody didn't get out on the field. They had 10 guys, so they went ahead and called a timeout, get everybody out there they want out there. 2:02 left. I believe if Trinity gets it back, they'll probably take a knee and let this go. We'll just have to kind of wait and see. I don't think North Crowley would stop it at this point. You always like to finish a game with your offense on the field.
I will say, in conversations that we've had week in and week out, I feel like maybe thus far in the season, this may be one of the more complete games
I think so.
that we've seen from kickoff to the end. We still have, as we've seen, penalties tonight, and we'll get to some of that when we get to our final stats here at our post-game session. But overall, a real good look offensively and defensively.
And again, when your defense is this dominant, they set a tone for the entire game. And the defense has just been so outstanding all night long. It's made it a lot easier on the offense. You didn't really ever feel threatened. Outside of a play and 2 penalties, North Crowley's had a really difficult time moving the football.
So as we return to the field of play here at Panther Stadium, we've got split receivers. The quarterback takes the snap, drops back, finds number 11 across the middle of the field. It's going to be sufficient enough yardage for another Panther first down.
That's a good ball. Good play. Starting to find a little bit of rhythm, hopefully, or thankfully a little bit late.
1st and 10, Panthers from their own 45. Similar formation. He takes a snap, drops back. He launches the ball. It's going to be well above and beyond defensive backs or receivers.
They're going to call that penalty. That's a shame.
And a flag on the play. Although I thought uncatchable ball from the beginning, we'll see exactly what the ruling is here by our officiating crew.
Well, somebody grabbed him by the arm. So if they called holding, I could go with that. But they called interference, and I don't see that.
So pass interference being charged to the Trojan defense. So the officials will mark off the yardage for the interference.
The receiver would have had to have quite a burst to be able to get to that one and make that catch.
So the ball's been spotted. It'll be 1st and 10 Panthers from the Trojan 40-yard line. 1 minute and 39 seconds remaining in the game. The Trojans up by 35. The Panthers twins far side split receiver near. Here's the snap. It's a handoff once again on first down to their back, and he's going to advance the ball up near the Trojan 35-yard line.
It's a good job of recovery. Again, I think it was number 43, Elijah Lewis, working back outside, limiting the run on that one.
Gain of 5 on the play. That's going to bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Panthers from the Trojan 35. The clock ticking down, 1:10 remaining here at the stadium. Shotgun formation. Here's the snap. He's dropping back. He's looking. He up in the pocket. He releases a knuckleball, and that ball is going to be in and out of the end zone, falling incomplete for the Panthers. So with that incomplete pass, that's going to bring up a 3rd and 5 for the Panthers from the Trojan 35-yard line.
Good job by this group of defense. They're still putting some pressure on. They're doing a really nice job. They're maintaining no big plays. Had one unfortunate penalty that moved them an extra 15, but this is a good job, and it's just a continuation of a really good night by the defensive football team.
So on 3rd down, similar formation, shotgun. Here's the snap by the Panthers. He takes it. It's a give to the running back. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. Again, that defensive line doing a great job of controlling the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. That's going to bring up a 4th and 5 for the Panthers from the Trojan 35-yard line.
It's see if we can make this the last offensive play right here. We're under 40 seconds, we're at 30 seconds.
28 on the clock, 17 on the field clock, and so I believe that the Panthers will either run a play or call a timeout. There's just about 10 seconds difference between the two. So they line up, twins far side, split receiver near, shotgun. Here's the snap. He takes it. It's a give to the back. He's hit just beyond the line of scrimmage and brought down. 5 seconds on the clock.
Now they ought to just let this run off so we don't have to bring somebody on the field and take a snap. Let's see what they do right here. Spot it and run it. Let's call it a night.
So the officials have marked the football. They're winding the clock.
No, I wish
Nope,
they
it
would.
went over on downs.
Yeah, zone downs.
It went over on downs.
I wish they just wind it and let it go.
So they're going to mark the football. It's going to be 1st and 10 here for the Trojans. I believe this would be their 6th possession of play here in the second half.
Kind of back what we started. Not a whole lot of possessions. Makes it really difficult to catch up. Down 3 touchdowns early in the half. It puts a lot of pressure on the offense. And, again, defense was just so good.
1st and 10, Trojans from their own 34-yard line.
Going out of the gun. May run a play. Give the freshman a chance to run the ball once.
Here's the snap. It's a handoff to the back. He's coming back to the near side. Little footwork here, advances the ball across the 40. And with that play, that will be the end of district competition here at North Crowley High School at Panther Stadium, with the Trojans taking the win over the Panthers 42-7. We invite all of our football fans and viewers to stay tuned for our post-game commentary following our post-game rituals by the Trojans. So we want to welcome back all of our football fans viewing the broadcast. As we said earlier in the broadcast, the Trinity High School Marching Band with a big competition for the DFW Band of Americas tomorrow at Pennington Field with an early wake-up call to report at 5:30 a.m. So although there may be an alma mater that may be sung, there will not be an alma mater that will be played. So we want to direct your attention to the Trojan sideline, where I believe the Trojans are preparing to perform their ritual sippy towel. And so we will pause for just a moment and allow you to view, and then we will come back with more post-game comments. The Trojans of Trinity High School with their ceremonial sippy towel. Congratulations to the Trojans with another district win as they move forward in district competition. So at this time here in our post-game commentary, I want to turn it over to Coach Jay. He's got some final statistics for us here for the game.
And again, thanks to the Dallas Morning News and my son Jacob for getting these stats for me so we can kind of look at what just happened. Trinity had 20 first downs in the game. North Crowley had 11. I would surmise that at least 4 of those first downs, if not more, for Crowley came on penalties.
Right.
And then they had a 2 or 3 right there on that last drive. So it was a dominant performance overall by Trinity. And here's the stat. Trinity with 435 yards. North Crowley, again, coming into the game, averaging over 400 yards a game, had 90. What a defensive performance tonight. Passing, Trinity had 106 yards. North Crowley had 103. Trinity was 5 for 7 with 2 touchdowns. North Crowley was 9 for 18 with 2 interceptions. If you look at the the rushing attempts, Trinity had 45 carries for 329 yards, 7.31 a carry. And here's the deal. And again, we just went on and on about what a great job the defense did. 31 carries, negative 13 yards.
Wow.
And I really can't remember the last time a Trinity defense held someone to negative rushing yards. And they did it tonight against what most would consider the second-best team in the district. What a great defensive performance. Still got to get the penalties fixed, 7 for 75 for Trinity, 4 for 55 for North Crowley. If you look at the others, Ollie was 2 for 4, 77 yards and a touchdown. Cade came in 3 for 3 for 29 yards and also a touchdown. Quentin Jackson for North Crowley was 8 for 17 for 92 yards. Anthony Farrell was 1 for 1 for 11. That adds up to 103, which is more than I said. Ollie had 22 carries for 211 yards, 9.59 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns. Gary Maddox, who did go out of the game with an injury, I'm wondering if somebody stepped on that sore toe that he had a couple weeks ago. 13 carries for 89 yards. Ethan Williams came in with 4 for 15. Buddy Leota had 2 for 5 and would have had a touchdown if they hadn't called a timeout. Manuel Perez, 2 for 4. Keyshawn was 1 for 4. And Cade had 1 for 1 with a touchdown because the time he fell on his own didn't count because they had a penalty for offsides.
Exactly.
Their leading rusher was number 5, DeJuan Lacey, 15 carries, 23 yards. I mean, that's just fantastic. Quentin Jackson, who's been running around and through and past everyone, 8 carries for 22 yards. Now, the ankle injury early did limit him, and they weren't able to use him as much, but still, what a great performance. Trinity had catches from Nasir Allah, Jaquan Black, Kedrick Corbin, and down on the goal line, number 29, I didn't see who that was, but one of the fullbacks made a catch late. And just overall, what an incredible performance. That was Blake Armstrong out of the backfield late, down about the 1-yard line, didn't quite get in, set up Cade's touchdown.
Right.
But what an incredible performance all the way across. And again, the defense set the tone. The defense played with such energy from the very start of the game, got them off the field early, just did a great job, didn't allow anything ever from the other side. The offense kind of grew off of that. Remembering the very first play of the game, Ollie broke one for a touchdown and kind of said, hey, we're going to have one of those games. Y'all better stay with us. And the defense didn't allow it. So what a great job by Trinity. Those silly red uniforms may be lucky.
Maybe. So congratulations to head coach Chris Jensen, his offensive coordinator Rodney Bartholomew, and defensive coordinator Donald Tryon. Very much a complete game from start to finish, I think, here as we're continuing to roll through district play, and just right on time.
Yeah.
Right on time.
6th week, you're hoping you're starting to improve, and golly, there's a lot of good stuff.
Yes.
That bye week, you saw improvement. You saw some things that were fixed. You saw some different wrinkles. So even saw a little trick play with the halfback pass. So
sure did.
What a really fun game that was for the kids.
It was fun to call, and I hope that our listeners and viewers enjoyed the broadcast this evening. Let's look ahead to next week's game. Our JV Red Trojan football team will travel to the Fort Worth area to compete against the Rangers of Chisholm Trail at Ranger Stadium on Thursday, October 14th. For a 5:30 p.m. kickoff, and that will be followed by our JV Black, our Trinity team, that will kick off at 7 p.m. And then, of course, the next Friday night, October the 15th, join us for our next broadcast as the Trojans will face off against Chisholm Trail. Before we say our final salutations,
that was homecoming now. It's homecoming next week. Make sure that we remember that. Just think, those early Trojans, 1971-72,
yes,
50-year reunion. That seemed like when I was young, that made them really, really old, but those guys are just some puppies now. They're not very old at all.
That's right, and so we want to invite all of those that can attend to come on down next Friday night for our homecoming at Pennington Field. We will be taking Monday off as it's a holiday, but we will start our homecoming week festivities on Tuesday and look forward to all of those great things and everything that will be taking place. And we'll have some special things here to feature through our Trinity Sports Network next week due to homecoming. So mark your calendars and plan to attend, and we look forward to recognizing all of those alumni that will be in attendance. I'm sure they've got special things planned there at Pennington Field.
Hey, and if you have questions, the Trinity Sports Network Twitter is up and running, and we'll man that. We keep an eye on that. And if you have questions during the week, you have wondering about what's going on with anything to do with the program, just let us know, and we'd be happy to respond to it. Can't guarantee there won't be sarcasm, but we will definitely respond.
That's correct, and I believe that's TSN Broadcasts. That's what ends with an S.
Hey, Marcy, it ends with an S.
That's it. That's it. All right, so make sure you mark that down, and don't be afraid to send us any questions for head coach Chris Jensen or comments. We'll be happy to field those. With that being said, just want to thank everybody this evening, and on behalf of our entire Trinity Sports Network crew, thank you for joining us and listening in this evening to this exciting event featuring the Trinity Trojans. Until we return next week to compete in another Region 1 District 3, this will be Game 7 featuring the Rangers of Chisholm Trail High at Pennington Field, and homecoming game time kickoff will be 7 p.m. This has been DR Big Daddy Emery saying, tease up and go Trojans!